There we go. Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dee Dee, and it's Monday morning. It's Ustream, live people in a live chat. So I am not talking to myself, although sometimes, if I record something, sometimes I am talking to myself. But most times on these long shows, I'm talking to a room full of people. So thanks everybody for being here. I think I said good morning to everybody before I hit record. And our little mod Pixie Carrie is not here this morning, so hope she's doing okay. And thanks everybody for being here. Yeah, I can't make those. I have to watch those late night recordings. I have to watch the recordings, Jeannie. So anyway, today I need to do a couple things to catch up for streams. I've had some more requests to do. Let me get the book back down here. To do another version of this project that we did a couple years ago. Well, 2012. We did this project in 2012, where we had a what do you call it, a folder. It's a folder book, and we did a folder a month with different topics every month. Well, I think what we'll do this time, instead of, and I haven't planned it out yet. I mean, I haven't planned out the topics or anything yet. Some I might readdress or redo. Some might do some new ones. But I thought it would be better to do 12 weeks instead of one a month. We do one a week. So I'm thinking about, redoing this. So this one's just made with a what do you call it? Board, Scrabble board. And it's all it is just a Scrabble board cut up with an X-Acto knife and a metal edge ruler. And I didn't even edge anything. This is just, I kept it very plain so that everybody could see exactly, it's kind of like the prototype type thing where for everybody to follow along. So I didn't decorate it or anything on the outside. I just wanted everybody to be able to see what was going on. So basically it's just a game board, and you don't have to use a game board. You can just use chipboard covered with scrapbook paper, anything. And then duct tape or shipping tape or whatever kind of heavy duty tape to hold it together. And then the folders are just in there with rubber bands. Let me just pull one out here. Let's see. Okay. So let me just pull one out. This one was from, when was this one from? I don't even know what one it's from. I didn't put the month on the outside of this one. I tried to put the month on the outside of every one, but I just kept them all in order. So what we basically did was we took a file folder, we folded it up, we decorated it, and it has 4 pockets, and then we would, mine are not in, they're just all stuck right here, but then we would have postcards, so the actual inside flaps, I think is, 4. So there are 4 inches here so that it would fit. Maybe it was a little 4 1/4 because we wanted them to fit. Well, they fit right in there. So let's see. Did I fold it a little bit more? Yeah, 4 1/4. 4 1/4 so that your postcard size cards, information cards, would fit in each pocket. Okay. So this one was decorated with that graphic 45 paper. I don't remember what it's the one that had the little pigs, the little when pigs fly. See the little pigs there? And it was this graphic 45 paper. I don't even remember the name of that paper right now. But this month it was all about knowledge. So we had observe, learn, share, and action. And those were the little information cards that we did for that month. But I'm thinking about, if y'all have any questions, put them in caps, okay? Hey, Terry. So I know you're asking me a question because the chat scrolls by pretty fast. And if you don't put it in caps, I won't know you're talking to me. So thanks, guys. So anyway, I think I'm going to do one a week instead of one a month so that the project won't take a year. It'll take 12 weeks. So I haven't decided on when to start it. I'd want to, of course, start it probably at the top of a month. Well, I guess you could start in the middle of the month and carry it. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so we'll see. But this is the project people have been asking me to redo. So I think we might do that. All right, so again, I'm having to remeasure because I don't remember the exact size. Not that it has to be the exact size. I think I flipped this up 4 and down 1. Yeah, okay. Not that it has to be the exact size. The only thing that when you do a book like this, where it's just bound in, some chipboard or a game board or whatever, is just you have to make them all the same. So it doesn't even have to be the exact same size as mine. Although you would want it to be at least 4 inches wide if you want to fit postcards size in there. But if you don't care what size, you can make this any size you want. Just realizing that, a standard 4x6 postcard is not going to fit in there unless you make it, 4 1/4 or whatever. So anyway, so the size, I'm gonna go ahead and make it the same size, I think, here, just for ease sake. And the other thing I want to do is I want to finish gluing down. I have some things just tacked in my Smack and Dragon. I just wrote that on there so y'all would know what I'm talking about. It's really smacking and dragging through the ink, but I just call it Smack and Dragon. But anyway, all these pages have Dilutions ink on them from smacking and dragging the pages through the ink. And then I've started, some of them, I've got a couple pages done. I have a couple pages, all the pages have something on them, and all the pages have something glued on them. But some of them are just like this. I know I want this piece here, but I've just with the glue stick, just tacked it down, just tacking it down until I get out the matte medium and my golden matte medium to glue everything down. So, I have areas that still need to be glued down. So what I want to do today is I want to fold my 12 folders just so that you can see how they're done. And if, you want to do it, and you don't have to, you can start making any of these books anytime. And again, I do not know, and I haven't planned out the topics and all that for a new book, but I just want to show y'all how, I put one together. So, feel free to start making your own. Okay, then Annabelle, if you have different size folders in Australia, it doesn't matter on the size. I can't stress that enough. As long as you can fit some postcards or any kind of cards. It doesn't even have to be 4x6. It can be whatever size you want. Just, 4 pockets. You can make it any size you want. Does not have to be. I know people say, well, exactly what size. It doesn't matter. I'm going to show you how I do mine, but does not have to be exactly like mine. You just want to make them all the same. Okay? Okay, you just have to make them all the same. Okay, so how I do mine is, first off, I open up the folder, and it is going to flash out a little because, my camera just, I don't know, it doesn't like white or light color. So, all right. So I'm just going to, these ones that I've done, I've gone to 4 inches, and basically I'm not much on ticking things off if I don't have to. If you start right in the middle with the score right at 4 inches, it'll make enough of a dent so that you can just fold it right up and just line up your lines of the folder that are already there. Okay? Yeah. All right, so the reason I'm doing them 4 inches this way, then I bring it down about 1 inch, and I'm not even measuring on this. Okay? I'm just folding it down about 1 inch. From the middle, if you start in the middle with your bone folder and go out, you can usually get a pretty straight line. You can be much more careful than I am when I'm doing this. But basically, that's your first fold. Okay, question. Excited for a new project. Jean is jumping in the shower. Okay. She's not tweeting me. Oh my goodness, Jean. You're so funny. Oh my goodness. Okay. I didn't even, you know what? I didn't even tweet. Let me go ahead and tweet real quick. I forgot to tweet that I'm streaming. So one moment, please. me spell morning correctly. Okay. That's funny. Okay, so yeah. So basically what we're going to do is make 12 of these when we're done. All right, you want 12, one for 12 every. We did it 12 because it was 12 months. We could do 8. You could do 8. We could do 8 weeks. Maybe that would be better. You know, do 8 weeks, because the reason we did 12 was because it was a year-long project and we did one a month. But if we're going to break it down into just some weeks, maybe you know, maybe 8 might be better. All right, so the reason that I just put that little flap on there is because it looks pretty. It's just pretty, a little decorative flap. It just looks pretty. It makes the pockets a little more stable, and it just looks pretty to have a little strip with some decorative whatever on that. So, yeah, that's the only reason for this, just to make it look pretty. So again, you know, you want to keep your, you know, folding with your bone folder. All right, so now the next thing you want to do is you have it like this, okay? Now, another thing about this is it can fold either way. You can have it going out like this. It doesn't matter which way you want your folders to go. The reason I had it go this way is because that way nothing fell out. Okay, so that's what we'll do it that way. But you can fold the folders out or in. It doesn't matter so much as just as long as you know, however you want to do it to keep your little cards in. And again, these actually this needs some tape here or something to hold that in. You know, just to be on the safe side. Like 12 weeks. Okay, we'll see. Hey, Linda. You don't have to shower before you come here, Linda. And thanks everybody for popping in. If I miss saying hi to you. Sharipa, who else has come in? Meringue, and I said hi to Mary. Who else is? Carol. Anybody else I might have missed that's come in? Okay. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to measure, because like I said, we want 4 1/4 just for the sake of having postcards fit in the pockets, but it doesn't have to be that exact size. Okay, don't stress out. Don't stress out over measuring. All right, so I'm just going to, from the here's the folder. Just close it up. From the outside, I'm just going to measure 4 1/4. Okay, that's just where I want to bone folder. I mean, score it. Okay, so now I'm just going to score. The reason I'm doing that is just so that a postcard size will fit in there. All right. So once you make one, then you can start doing the flaps and smashing it out with the bone folder. You will have to have a bone folder to do this. I'm telling you, if you want these things to lie flat, you're going to have to smash them down good. Now I don't have to measure this side because here's my flap. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and just bone folder right along that edge, or score it, I should say. And then I can fold that side over using the other flap as my measurement. All right, and again, all right, now I want to go ahead and flap these just right on the line. I'm just going to fold them to the inside, and that even gives it more of a score. Okay, all right, so I'm just going to fold these to the inside. I think the back one, yeah, they're both on the inside. All right. I'm trying to kind of make it the same as the last one. All right, now, this right here will get in your way, okay? But you can do a couple things with that. You can either cut it off or just fold it over. In my case, on this one, I just cut it off, okay? So you can just cut that edge off, because it won't, so you can't close it with the flap, obviously. So I'm just going to cut that off. All right, on this side, did I cut that side off too? I think I cut both sides off. Yeah. You can also fold this to the outside if you want. You can just make a little fold, and that'll protect the pocket. But I just cut them off. It's just easier after you do that. All right. So you got 2 flaps that fold in and out. Okay, I think I did. Did I measure that wrong? As long as they're all the same. I think I just didn't bone fold it well enough here. But basically what you're trying to do is just have enough room for a, what do you call it? Index card. I mean, not an index card. Well, you could do an index card. A postcard. Okay? So there we go. So as long as it fits a postcard. Okay, so you can kind of see here. Like that. See? All right. Well, I'm still have to. I don't know when it's going to be because I haven't planned it all out yet, AJ. So just we'll see when I have to. And I don't want to duplicate every single topic that we did for that year. I'd rather do maybe a couple of the same ones, but I'd rather do new topics. So I've got to have time to do that. This was just kind of like everybody wanted me to do it, and I hadn't even really thought about doing it, so I don't have any plans made up for this yet. But I wanted to show y'all how to make it. If you do want to be a part of it, this is how you make the folders. That's all there is to it. Okay, you just bone folder it, right real tight so that it'll close up like that. Okay, so that's it. That's all there is to it. And the idea is, now let me find a rubber band since I took that one off. Let me get another rubber band. So the idea of it is after you make a board book, whether it's with a game board or just chipboard, either way, this is just 3 pieces of a Scrabble board, duct taped together, and all the folders are held in here with rubber bands. Okay? Yeah, it's just easier with a bone folder, Brenda. No, I wouldn't do anything yet, Lynn, because I don't know what we're going to do yet. I mean, you don't even have to make these yet. I have not planned anything out yet, guys. So, it was just suggested to me to redo the project. Everybody wanted to do it again, but I haven't planned it all out yet. So don't do anything. Don't do anything yet. I mean, you can make your own book, of course. You can make a practice one and make your own topics. But I have not planned this out yet. It's going to be a 12-week thing. I have to have a little plan time in there. Yeah. Okay, so what you do, though, is to how they're all held in. And again, I don't remember what month this was. I think it's January. It doesn't matter. We'll just put it in there. Is how see how it opens up like that? You just take the first flap, because you want this one loose. You just take the first flap, and it gets rubber banded to the spine. Like that. And that's how it's held in there. They're all held in with rubber bands. But the reason you only want to attach the one side is that way you can pull out. See how you can pull the whole thing out? If you just attach the one with the rubber band, okay? Then all the flaps come out, see? And that's the case with all the months. Or in this case, yeah, months. See? So if you want to have both sides seen, you can pull out and see all your postcards. And this one, whoops, sorry. This one we did a clip art project where we decorated, colored, just like all the color books now. We colored clip art. And I did a show a couple weeks ago on coloring book pages and clip art. So even if you don't have coloring books, you can use clip art. So that's what these are, is just printed out on cardstock, some clip art, and we colored it. So maybe we'll do that as a theme, color booking. We'll use color books and clip art. to do these projects. That would be fun. Then because everybody can color. You know, everybody can color. So if we use color books and clip art for, you know, the 12 weeks, that would kind of be fun. What do y'all think? Let me write that down as an idea. Because we did 1 month that way. Yeah. Jeannie likes that idea. So anyway, because we did 1 month that way with all different kinds of cards from clip art. So you can see you got tons of them here. And then you can either write on the back or write on a separate postcard size, because you can make this any size you want. This book can be smaller. It can't be too much bigger because you won't get 4 flaps, but it could be taller. You know, you don't have to make this so deep. You can make the book taller, which we've done that a few times before on the show with file folders. Hey, fairy treasures. How you doing, Angie? Okay, so anyway, that's, like I said, these are just from a botanical clip art thing I had, and we added some stamps, stuff stamped on it. What else have I added on here? Just pretty much stamps, I think. Yeah, there's all kinds of stamps right over the clip art botanical. See, that's some stamps. That's stamps right there, rubber stamps. Let's see what else here. Yeah, rubber stamps, all the alphabets and all that. So basically, this was a piece of clip art. We colored and stamped on it, inked the edges, shaded the edges, just to make it look like a pretty little botanical, you know, card. But you can do this with any of your color books or clip art or whatever, you know, and it's just cut down to 4 by 6. I rounded the edges just to make them look pretty. But you could write your information on the backs of this, or in this case, I just had separate postcards. All right? So that's kind of that idea for that. Hey, Vicki, how you doing? Anybody else? Let me see who else I might have missed coming in. Hang on, I got to get my people back here. Where is? Oh, let's see. There we go. Oh, well, I made Julie a mod too. I'll make Vicki and Julie mods. I think our Pixie is sleeping in today. All right, let me get my chat back. Main chat. There we go. So y'all behave in the corner up there, Julie and Vicki. You hear? Y'all behave in the corner. So let me just scroll here, see if there's anybody else I missed. Saying good morning to, I think I said, oh, and y'all, Mountain Dreamer is Teresa Dreamer. We're going to call her Teresa Dreamer. So she's been watching recordings, but it's her first time here live. So y'all be nice. Okay, so anyway, there's the idea for the file folder, a new one, okay? And again, if we do 12 weeks, you'll need 12 folders. But, you know, let me plan it out a little first, guys. I got to plan it out a little bit, all right? Somebody just suggested doing it again. All right. Not going to behave. All right, let me take a sip of coffee here. Okay, so like I said before I hit record, the other thing that I wanted to finish today, so every folder has, yes, exactly, Stacks. Every folder will have a different topic and subtopics. Now, how we did it with the year-long project is we had one main topic for the month and then weekly, 4 weekly subtopics. Well, since we're going to do everything in 1 week, it probably won't get as involved because you're only going to have 1 week to work on a folder. And the idea of the rubber band book is that way you can, the rubber band file folder book is you can have one file folder with you, you know, what we did a month. You could have that with you for the month and work every week on your cards and collect that whatever information that we did that month. And you had 4 weeks. Well, if we're going to do one file folder a week, we can't get as involved and do 4 too many. You're not, Vicki? I wonder why. Huh. All right, see if that worked, Vicki. I did it again. See if that worked. There we go. Yes, rubber bands do disintegrate, and that's the nice thing about rubber bands. If one breaks, you just put a new one on. Let's sip of coffee here, guys. Okay, good. Okay? So that's the idea with the file folder book. All right, so now we're going to move on to the other thing I want to try to get done today on today's stream, and that is going through my Smack and Dragon Delusions journal, that all the pages have something on it. And it was a show, I don't even know if it was on, if I should put it on YouTube or not, but it was, we went through and inked every single page in this book, okay? And I've already started, some pages are done, some pages are half done, and what this book is for me is I can go to different areas, you know, different parts of the book and work on something. So it's not one page is completely done and then I go on to finish another page. This is like a multi-project going on all the time. So for me, I have other books that I do finish page by page, or pretty much, like the other one of these that I have, and I've shown it a whole bunch of times. My other Delusions book. This one is all with black as a color theme in this one, and I do have some pages that are just started in the back, but you know, this one's about halfway done or so, maybe further than halfway. And I've done a flip through this. I can do a quick little bit of flip in this one, but this one I pretty much, you know, when I started working on that particular page, I finished that particular page. This one, I inked all the book first. Then I went in with some stencils. I haven't really done a lot of stamping, but you could do stamping or whatever. And then collaging. And as I've been finding collage things that I like, I've been just tacking it in with a glue stick. Let me find one for an example. Some things are glued down, but I have areas of some, and I'll flip through this. Okay, here. This is not glued down. Okay, this is just tacked down with a glue stick. So what I need to do in this book is finish gluing everything down with my golden matte medium. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do today. I might come in, so it might be kind of a boring show, but I have to get this done if I'm going to keep working on these pages, because I don't want things flying out, falling out, and this may not be all that ends up glued down, but it's the start of the, like this one's already glued down. I've already glued this flower down, but this piece I found later, and so I just put a quick little, you know, swipe of a glue stick here just to hold it down. Thanks, Vicki. Thanks, everybody. Hey, Packer Die. Well, just watching somebody glue a bunch of stuff down could be, Vicki, but that's what's going on today. Because I have to get this stuff done. And, you know, I just have to squeeze it in. You know, if I'm going to stream all these hours every week, I have to do some of this prep work on, you know, here. I mean, I don't have to, you know, film it, but then people yell at me if I don't film. They don't yell, but, you know, why didn't you record? Okay, so, hey, Paula, have you heard from Carrie? We were all wondering where Carrie was because we hope she's sleeping in today because I know she wasn't feeling good a couple days ago. So, okay, so that's what I'm going to do today. And then I might stop and work if I get inspired to work on a certain page, you know, but I really need to get everything glued down that I've just thrown in here. Plus, I have other books that I've chopped up. Let me find, where did I sit those? Where did I, oh, here they are. I also, in addition to my drawers for collaging, I'm trying to not collect too much more stuff unless it can fit in my, you know, other collage folders. And I deconstructed some different books, like this was the Greek Conquerors. And so I basically, look, I took the book apart. I put some packing tape just to hold it, you know, make sure the spine doesn't fall apart. And then this is all that I kept. This is all I kept out of that book. So, but this is a nice folder. It makes a nice folder to hold that. So again, you know, I'm whittling down my books. I still have tons more books of that I buy on clearance to use in collage. And but the book itself makes a nice, just, you know, folder to hold what you cut out. Let me show you some of the other ones. Like this one. See, I deconstructed the book down to just this much. So here's just what's left from this book. Now, granted, there's probably still 20, 30 pages, but I've deconstructed it down to that much instead of a big, thick book. Oh, you're welcome. Good, good, good. I'm glad you got the art card. Here's an Art Deco fashion. Again, this one's got, you know, all kinds of things to cut up. You know, I've already cut out of the book what I wanted. See, like this book, I think I got for $5. I got this book for $5. So basically, what I did. Okay, now this one. Okay, I have not put packing tape. So let me put packing tape just so you can see. So when I took the book apart, took it out, then right here, I'll just put a piece of packing tape right on that spine just to help stabilize, and you don't have any little bits of paper coming out or falling apart like that. Okay. And it makes a nice little folder for the things you cut out. And don't email me. These are all books that are on clearance. And one time I went into my Books A Million and I had a big stack of books that I got for $2, $3, you know, dollars, and they were in the clearance section. And they said, "Oh, what are you going to do?" I said, "I cut them up and use them in collage and in, you know, art journals." "You what? You cut them up and you use them in art journals?" I went, "Yeah." "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh." And I said, "Let me ask you this. If I don't buy these on clearance, what are y'all going to do with them?" And you know, that shut them up. You know, what are they going to do with them? They'll probably end up trashed. You know, maybe they might end up at a, you know, some other sale somewhere. But anyway, I'm using them. I'm using them is what I'm saying. And sometimes I'll read, you know, through them, or I'm usually at least reading parts of it as I'm deconstructing. And so anyway, they just have cool, you know, things to use in, you know, art journals. But I don't need the whole book. If I've read it or don't feel like reading that particular book, then I'll just save what I want, keep the book covers. The book covers, did he have trouble handing you the book after that? Vicky, no. And it just happened one time. After that, I don't tell anybody what I'm doing with them. And I love books. Don't get me wrong. I love books. I love to read. I collect books. I love books. So it's not like I'm just buying any old book up and, just to tear up. I find books that I'm actually going to use. All right. Don't email me. And then other things, then I just keep the rest of things like calendar pages or, whatever that I might be using soon, or just bits of like watches or backgrounds. Like, look, I just love that. I have no idea what I'll use it for, but I love that. So, but I try not to get too much of this kind of folder where it's just random. I have my drawers. I have the 10 drawers over there, and I've shown y'all that before. I still have that picture that I took last week. I have this drawer here, the color one right here in the middle. They're all labeled, and every drawer has collage stuff in it, and it's labeled, like watches and mechanicals. I have birds and butterflies, people, landscapes. They're all labeled, okay, for like 10 drawers. But I still have tons of books that I've bought for the purpose of cutting them up and using them in my art journals and my little art cards that I give away. Okay. Hey, Mama Thor, CB, anybody else popping in? Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to show you that this is just a way to, save some of your collage stuff. Even if you just have one of these, just to keep, if you're not a big collager, you just do it occasionally, you just want some stuff to use in your art journal, some magazine stuff, or just plain old folders like this. I do both, plus the drawers. I'm down to one bin of ephemera and one bin of collage fodder. I got rid of all the rest of my collage fodder because it was overtaking the spare bedroom, not even this room. So that's when Denise was here and helped me reorganize here in the studio. And then those other bins of collage stuff, I just got rid of it, okay? No art materials were harmed in the making and redoing of the art studio. Okay. So what I'm saying, though, is I pulled these folders out right here because I might use them as I'm going through here. I also still have, this is the only magazine that I can think of right now, other than my Flow magazines I've been slowly cutting up too and using. But this is the only magazine I have at the moment to use in collage. I went through all my other magazines, pulled out what I wanted, kind of like Pack or Die, pulled out all the stuff that she wanted out of her magazines, and I think she's still working through them, her stack. And just, you can either put them in a folder or just put them in some kind of a, if you've deconstructed a book, this is a smaller one, of course, it won't hold a full magazine page. If you've deconstructed a book, to put your magazine images in, however is best for you to organize. I just wanted to say all that because I want to work in this journal today, and this journal is an ongoing thing. I have a few pages done, but not many. This one I'm just kind of like building. I'm building this book, okay? Whereas this one, I did more page by page. So I'll just do a quick flip. I think everybody's probably seen this one. I started it in 2013, and I started it as a calligraphy book. I used to do calligraphy professionally, and it's been years, before computers. Well, let me back up, say not before computers, but before desktops, okay? Before everybody had a computer, and can download and get their own fonts. I did a lot of, I did calligraphy back in the 80s. Anyway, but I wanted to, I said, well, maybe I'd spent a long time since I really did a lot of, gallon Ziplocs work well too, Vicki. For me, baggies don't work because I have to take everything out to, I have to be able to flip, I have to be able to do this, like this, and flip. I'm a flipper, not a stacker. and if it's in a bag, I have to pull it all out. You know, it just depends on how much you have and how much you use it. Now, Vicki, I'm sure Ziploc bags work just fine for you as often as you use your collage materials. And y'all know I'm teasing Vicki. Okay, so anyway, I had planned on making this. Now I'm going to get the giggles. A calligraphy book, because this was the first book that I bought, the Dilutions Journal, and it was nice, heavy paper. It's smooth. It was good for calligraphy. But then, you know, I said, nah, I think I'll just go ahead and make it an art journal. I know, Vicki. So this one has a lot of black. Was my back. I did a lot of space. This was like a lot of outer space kind of thing. So I did a lot of black backgrounds, and so since I did so many, I decided just to make this whole journal, this whole art journal with black as the main color, or the focus color, the focal color. And so all of them pretty much have, outer space and black as a focal color. Okay. These pages that are done, some of them I'll get to, I'll tell you if it's not, but I varnished these. And this was an experiment in varnishing an art journal. This was the first art journal I ever, I love Brandon. Vicki, are you going to kick me out of my own show? Anyway, for those of y'all watching the recording, this is a live chat with we got about 50 people here this morning. And Vicki, one of my mods, is giving me a hard time and threatening to kick me out of my own show. It's kind of like, it goes way back about a few years. Anyway, so I had not ever varnished. I varnished my acrylic paintings and varnished my art cards, but I'd never varnished a journal thinking that it might make the pages stick. Now you'll hear a couple pages that might kind of crack a little in the center, but pretty much they did not stick at all. But let me qualify that by saying I let each page dry overnight before I closed it. Do not close a damp, just varnished book. And I know someone will ask me, so let me go ahead and show. I use the Delta Ceram Coat Indoor Outdoor Gloss Varnish. This is what I use. I use this on my art cards, my ATCs, and in the art journal, okay? And it does not stick, all right? It does not stick. But I let it dry. And I don't put a whole heavy coat. I put like about this much in the center, and then I just use a sponge brush to, smooth it out. It's not like a big old thick coat. It's not like a big old thick coat of varnish, people. It's a thin coat. A thin coat. So yeah. So let me keep going here. So you can kind of, and then there's a little bit of a glare because it's gloss, but I did that on purpose. So you can just kind of see these pages real quick that I have done. There's the fish that I told you I did in the sky. That other page that we were talking about last week. So you can just see, and what it is, there's different collage elements, and then this is something from a stained glass window. I painted the wings. There's an old door, but then I added my own waterfalls. This is something else from another garden. This is a piece of a watch. I painted this background here in the water. So it's mixed media. It's collage and paint. I smacked the dragon, yeah. And so anyway, yeah, so these go back to 2013. This book goes from 13 into 14, So there's Father Time. And some of them I've titled. But my thing about doing mixed media collage, things like this, is I like to, and like I said, sometimes I'll title them, and most times I don't. I mean, I might have a title in my mind, or I'll give a brief title or something, but I want the person looking at it to what they see, not what I tell them to see. I like my work to make people think like, well, what do they see in it? Oh, thanks, Vicky. Thanks, AJ. Yeah, these I did all with, well, like this one doesn't have space theme in it. This one was more without stars and stuff. But, you know, a lot of them, most of them in this particular journal do. Okay. I'm trying to kind of tilt them a little so the glare doesn't. Okay, so, and they're really, I mean, there's a couple of little sounds, crackle sound, but they're not sticky. They're not sticky at all. Okay, this one's not done and it's not varnished, just so you can see one in progress. I've put some rocks here and painted some water around them. I'm still working on this angel here. I used a bird wing for an angel wing. There's another arch back here, so you can see this one is in progress. Same for this one. This is not varnished either and not finished. Okay, and then the rest of these are in progress. You can see them all in progress. Okay, so this one's about halfway done. All right, so there's that done. That was my first Dilutions journal. So this is the second one I'm working on, and I'm calling it the Smack and Dragon because I started with Dilutions ink and smacked and dragged every single page in here. It took, I don't know, what did it take, about an hour? Maybe an hour to smack and drag Dilutions ink on every single page. Then I went in with some stencils, then I went in with some collage, and then I start building the stories. And like I said, that's what I want to do today, is I want to, yes, I'll show the varnish again. It's Delta, well, it says Creative, but it's Ceram Coat Delta, and it's gloss exterior interior varnish. And you can get it at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, and it's $10. But you use a 40%, sometimes 50% coupon, and you can get it for $6. And again, this lasts a long time. This is a newer bottle. That other bottle, probably, it maybe took about half that bottle to do that whole journal. The black journal, that's, you know, it's only halfway done, but all those pages you saw didn't take more than half a jar. It goes a long way. Like on my art cards, let me see if I have one that I can show you. Let me see if I can find one that's partially done. Okay, here we go. All right, so this one's, I really haven't finished this one yet. I kind of would like to add some water or something in there. And I haven't painted the back or anything, but I'll just do this one just to kind of show you, okay, on how you don't need much. Okay, so I'm going to put this about the size of a dime. Now, when I'm doing the big art journals, I'll use the sponge brushes, you know, these things. I'll try not to bump, oh, sorry, I was going to say, I'll try not to bump the camera, but I did. When I'm doing the art journal pages, I'll use just a sponge brush like this. Okay, because it won't leave any brush marks. Okay, but if I'm just doing a little bit on an art card, I just use my finger and just smooth it out all the way to the edge like this and set it aside to dry overnight. That's all I do to it. That's it. And because I use my finger, there's no brush marks. The same thing for when I use a sponge brush in the journals, there's no brush marks. And it kind of, if you just set it aside for overnight, it kind of levels itself out anyway, but there'll be no brush marks. Okay, let me get a baby wipe here. Get that off my hand. Okay. Yeah, so it seals it. Of course, you know, when I'm doing these art cards, I glue everything down with my golden matte medium, which, you know, glues and seals as well. But that's just matte. So because that's matte, it's not shiny at all. This puts a shine to it at the end. See? Okay. Bye, Cass. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping in before work. All right, so there's that. Okay. So let me set that over there and take a sip of coffee. So let me show you a couple pages that are done in here. And then I want to start gluing. And I have this magazine handy because I do want to kind of use some of it. Look at that paper right there. I mean, I just really like, you know, some of the images. Like there's a thing in here with the Fridas. All right, like this. Just even a bit of this right here. That little yellow. This could be a sky. It could be a border. This could be so many things. So I just, you know, have inspiration sitting next to me that I might want to use a bit of. Or not. Maybe I got those folders of stuff sitting right here too. All right, so look. So here's where they like duplicated Frida poses. But look how they used all this beautiful tapestry in the back. This is what I love. You know, stuff like that. You know, just that flower right there. Or anyway, so I just have, this is the only magazine that I have handy that I haven't cut up other than some of the Flow magazines that I have. But I'll keep that handy. And again, I have all these different, you know, bits of stuff sitting here as well. You know, just something like this can inspire me. Things like this. I'll pull just something out just to try to use it, just to kind of give you an idea. Let me pull out a couple things. Let's pull that out, and let's pull out maybe one of these, another Art Deco girls or something. Let's see. I don't know, maybe her. We'll just pull something, just to have something pulled out. Okay. Maybe another watch. There's a bit of a watch. Let's see what's in this folder. This one doesn't have much. It's got a couple of animals in it. Okay, we'll go with this. All right. Yeah, it's really cool with all the Frida stuff in it. All right, so we'll have a couple of little bits of inspiration sitting here if I need to add something else. But again, I have tons of stuff that's just been tacked down with a glue stick. So if I come across something I really like, and let me grab a glue stick here. Whoops, where's the lid to this? Hang on, it's right here somewhere. There it is. Okay. So what I'll do is if I come across something like, let's just say I really like this and I come across this page, I'm just going to just show randomly. I'm not going to put it down here. But, oh, I think this will go good here. What I'll do is I'll just put a swipe of a glue stick and just set it, you know, tack it there. And you can still kind of, you know, lift it up or, you know, pull it off or whatever if you want to move it. Actually, I kind of like that right there. Hang on, I might just put that there. And if it is better to tear. I always tell you all that, and then I pull out the scissors. It's better if you're going to paint in a collage item. It's better if you can to tear the edges because the paint will blend much better if you tear it rather than cut it. Yes, I think it's the only issue that's come out so far. It's a brand new magazine called Womankind. It's says display till September 30th. It's the premiere issue as far as I know, and there if there's one, there may be one other before this one. There might be one other before this. But anyway, I got it because of the Frida of it. And, you know, but look at it kind of reminds me of how Flow has pretty borders and things around their articles. Here's a whole thing. And I'm going to keep this article. It's all on bees. I love, you know, thing about bees. But look at that page. This page will probably make it into, let me go under the table here. I have a book. I bought this Jonathan Adler plastic sleeved book just for the purpose of keeping things like this. Okay, so I'll cut this out and it will probably go in this book. Oh, wait, real quick, let me just tack this little bit down here. Okay, with just a piece of glue stick. Now I'm going to come back here in a minute. I'm going through this whole book and gluing down everything. So again, it's going to be a glue day here, and I might stop and do a page or two, or maybe not. Okay, so this book right here, it's just a I put my own extra things on it to add some other stuff to, but it is basically like I added, this book is my own addition to it. This is a Moley, it was a special Moley thing where they had students decorate the books, and it came 2 in a pack. So I got one in the front and one in the back. But this book is just a whole book of sleeves, you know, plastic sleeves. That's what the whole book is. And what I've done is I have just put things that I want to keep. Now this one is my own hand done. But this is different things out of magazines, Flow magazines, different magazines, and I added a little bit of blank paper here. But just things I like, graphic design things that I really like, that I just want to keep. I don't want to cut these up. I don't want to use them in anything. So here, see, I have a few pages still empty. I added another section there on an elastic, just kind of like you do with a Fedora. You know, just another piece of elastic right in the middle, like that. Okay, so I have some place to, like, kind of like a glue book. Hey, Dana. So this book is just all images I really like from either Flow or other a scrapbook paper I really love. Let's see, there's some blank pages there. Something like that. So that is what this book is. It's kind of like a glue book, but mostly with plastic sleeves. But any kind of images I really want to keep, that's what this book is. And it still smells nice and plasticky. It smells like an old Barbie house when you were a kid. You know how that new plastic smell? So it kind of just reminds me of the plastic toys, you know. All right, so put that back under the table. Under this desk here, I have probably, I got 1, 2, 3, I have about 4 feet of ongoing journals and my portfolios under this table here. Okay, so now let's go back to the Smack and Dragon. Yeah, like a Barbie house, you know. All right, so let me go to the beginning of this book. I'm going to do a quick flip real quick just to show you where, I'll show you where things are loose, things got to get glued down. And like I said, I maybe have 2, 3, maybe 5 pages done in this book. So this right here is that handmade dar paper right here. And then the cover, the spine, which I've told y'all this before, if you do a lot of gluing or painting in a journal or in a book, it's best to do front, back, rather than from front to back, because you see what happens to the spine? That's the same thing in my magazine journals. If you work in a magazine journal, you want to go front, back. Otherwise, you're going to warp the spine, and it really never gets back. You can never really get that spine back unwarped, you know. Now, it doesn't really bother me, but I just wanted to give you all that. This one, it comes with, let me show you, I think I have the cover still in here. It comes with this envelope in the inside, and it's not attached. See, this has the cover, goes around the book, okay? But I think I still have, let's see if I have it in here. No, I don't have it in this one. I probably have it in the other one. Just what the cover, you know, the wrap looks like that came on it. But anyway, I just went ahead and painted that. Just because. And I think somehow on the cover here, I'm going to do something that says Smackin' Dragon. Maybe put a dragon on here. You know, I probably have something on a calendar or something. That would be cool to glue on here. You know, or paint my own. I don't know yet. Usually if I do a painting, here's the thing about working in my art journals. If I'm going to go to a lot of trouble to do a drawing and a painting, like my fantasy animals that I do on posters, it's usually going to be on a poster. It's going to be on, you know, something that is more permanent if I'm going to put a lot of time in it. Although, you know, some people think I'm putting a lot of time in my art scrolls where I'm doing the animals and things on those scrolls. But that's really not a lot of time compared to a painting. Oh, thanks, Lynn. That's sweet. So anyway, I just have this was a napkin transfer or napkin glue down, you know, a piece of a napkin. I really liked all those birds. So just this intro page here. I haven't painted the cardboard cover inside here yet or anything. But this is just a napkin, and again, we've done lots of napkins. I had a napkin journal, and I showed that not too long ago, so I won't drag it out, even though Linda likes that one page with the spider web. I did deconstruct that journal. Well, it was a journal of 12 by 12 scrapbook cardstock that I had made a 12 by 12 art journal out of. For the purpose of doing a napkin journal. And I'm not a bookbinder. Like I said, I use rubber bands. Y'all saw, you know, the beginning of the show. I don't sew. I don't, you know, I glue. And sometimes I don't even glue that very well to make journals and books. So it kind of fell apart. So I just took it apart. But it was a huge 12 by 12 napkin journal. And so I've talked about how to use napkins on your art pages and stuff like that. But that's what that is. Okay, so this is one that's done. And now none of these are varnished. Now here's the thing about this journal. This journal started as Dylusions non-waterproof ink. All right? So I probably will not try to varnish this book because it has Dylusions ink in it. Now, I will still glue things down with my matte medium, which can reactivate the ink and smear it around some, but that's at the stage where it doesn't really matter stage if it smears some ink around because it's at the building stage. If I've completely finished a page, I am not going to want ink to smear around. Okay? So I probably will not varnish these pages because I can reactivate the Dylusions ink that I started the Smackin' Dragon process with. Now I can spray them with a sealer and go through all that, but knowing me, I probably will not do that. But, you know, there's always the options of where you can seal it and all that. But even a wet spray sealer on Dylusions will probably reactivate it. Now, on some pages, I might have done a whole lot of work on it with matte medium. So they're already kind of sealed. So it just depends on how much you seal it with your matte medium or how much, you know, ink is left after you've put paint on it. It's all going to depend on that. But if you are going to cover your pages with a varnish, just be aware if you're using inks or non-permanent, you know, sprays and stuff like that, they can move. So just a warning. This one I called She Grew the Stars. So that's what this one's called. And so that one's done. This one's done. Oh no, I did want to put some birds in this sky. I want to put some of the little cutout or stencil. Let's see, where's my stencils? Oh, where did I put those? Oh, they're under the table. Good grief. I don't want to bump the camera. Let's see if I just have some of those loose ones here in my cutout. My cutouts from my Silhouette Cameo. I think I gave them all away, so I may not have a loose bird somewhere. Let's see though. Let me flip through. Okay, well basically I have, you know, my Cameo cutouts like this. All right, these are butterflies. I really want some birds up here, but I'll just show you it's kind of the same thing that I want to do. I either want to stencil some birds up here, or I want to cut out some birds and put them in flying across this clouds here like this. But I think I have to cut some more birds. But anyway, I want some birds coming across here. Or I want to stencil some birds going across there. Let me see. Do I have any loose? Don't have any loose birds? I need to get out my Cameo again and do some more cutting. And I know Jeannie wants a few things. Let me just flip through here and see if I have a bird. There's some feathers. Those little doves, you know. And all my stencils are under the table that I'd have to bump the camera to get to. So I'm not really wanting to do that. But I think you get the idea. I'm just seeing if I have any of those little birds. But I think I gave them all away. So we will have to, there's some feathers. Let me look in this other pouch, the side thing here. Some of my envelopes here. My envelope, you can see. Oh my goodness, what a mess. But I know where they are, but I just don't know if I have any cut out. Let's see, there's leaves. Oh, here, I talked about this last week. Let me see if I can untangle it from this bird. I talked about this particular cut file last week. It's tangled in a bird feather. Hang on, see if I can get it out without tearing it, because it's so delicate. One moment, I'm trying to get it untangled. Let's see if I just tear that little bird thing here. There we go. Okay. This is one of my favorite things, but it is tangly. Hang on, still there we go. There's one little thing there. Hang on, let's see if I can get this. One little something is, there we go. Tangled up in there. All right, I love this cut file. It is tree rings. This is how intricate that my Cameo can cut. Loose birds around here. Yes, Lindsay. This is, I think it was a 2Ps cut file, but I can't be for sure. But look at the intricacy of that rings. Look how intricate that is. And look, it even has a tiny little heart right there. See, I love that. I know, isn't that amazing? Look at that. Anyway, rabbit trail. Okay, let me see if I can find, I was looking for a bird. Put these other shapes away. But I want, like, you know, maybe 3 or 5 little birds flying across, and they're tiny. You can cut, that's the thing about the Cameo. You can cut it down. Ah, here's some birds. You can cut it down to any size you want. This, I want them a little smaller than this, but this is what I'm talking about, these birds. I want them flying across there. Let's see if I got any more in this little envelope. Let's see, there's some black. Ah, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Like that. Maybe a couple of different sizes. Like that. Let's see, that's kind of big. Well, I'm a little smaller. Ah, here we go. See? And then I want a smaller one and a smaller one. But these little birds here, these little doves, let's see what else. I have a tinier one somewhere left. Maybe I will have to go with that size. Let's see, maybe one there, like that. No, I want this side there. And maybe 2 over here, something like that. Something like that. That's kind of what I had in mind right there. Let's just go for that. So yeah, so you got little bats, all kinds of things. All right, so well, maybe I need one. Well, I don't know. I don't like having 5. I mean 4 at the top. But okay, we'll just go with those 3. But that was my plan, right there. All right, let me put all this away. And I just have a binder here. It's an old Technique Tuesday stamp holding binder, and that's what I use for my cut files. All right. And it fits on the shelf. All right, there's that rabbit trail. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly glue these down with some tacky glue. I want them, I'm just going to leave them just like they are, white. Now, when I glue things down, after the fact of gluing everything down with matte medium, if I have more things to glue down like this, as like a end thing, I just use a little bit of my tacky glue, but I make sure it goes all the way to the edge. I don't like anything coming up. When I glue something down, I want it glued down. Okay. Now when I do scrapbook pages, I don't worry so much about it because they go behind a sleeve. So I don't ever really worry about anything. Is that Jean? I don't really worry about anything coming up on a scrapbook page because it goes behind a sleeve. But when you got an art journal like this, you know, everything's pretty much, you know, it's just loose. I mean, you know, there's nothing protecting your pages unless you varnish them. All right, so there we go. All right, now let's see if we can, have you ever made a Halloween book? No, I'm not really much into Halloween. Now, I do pumpkin carving. I've done pumpkin carving contests, and you know, I'll help the kids with some, you know, costume or something, but I'm not really a Halloween girl. Don't tell Linda. Don't tell Art Unit. No, she knows. She's here. I'm just giving her a hard time. All right, so there we go. So that page is done. Now, here is the one that we did this dog in that time. Now, I did draw him, and I drew this pug, and we did a kind of a pen and ink and watercolor and a little bit of, it was a mixed media. We did a little bit of everything to draw him. Then another day, we turned him into a motorcycle guy. Has a little tattoo that says Mom. You know, we put a helmet on him and spike collar. Let's see if we can hold him up. But I've since added some other things to it. So, you know, this is all glued down, but, you know, I don't know what I'll do with it yet. Okay, but I'm really not, yeah, a pierced ear, yeah, he's got a bone in his ear. See the bone? We just played that day. But anyway, I don't know if I'll turn this into a full, you know, like my posters, you know, that type of look. But he's probably the only thing in here that I've really spent time drawing anything. Everything else is mixed, you know, collage and turning into stories and stuff from that. That's what this book is for. I have different books for different purposes. Yeah. Okay, let me get some of that stuff on my hand. All right. So again, I'm going to flip through quickly, and you can see, let's see, this is all glued down, just making sure. But if I come across, let me do a flip first, then I'll go back and any of the loose pages that I want to glue down with matte medium, and I might add to, and then some I might go and complete. This is what they look like complete. He'd be a good thing. So this is like different stages. As I'm flipping through, you can see Smack and Dragon all the way in the back with the ink. Then I've added some stencil and I've added bits of collage. Now from the collage stage is where I go into the painting stage. But I don't feel like any of these have enough collage yet to really go into that process yet. But if I come across one that really inspires me and I want to add, you know, some of these things that I just pulled out of the folders, you know, I've got them right there if I decide they would go. You want the hippie sloth. Yeah. Let me see. Where's my hippie sloth? Let's see if I can. He's under here in my portfolio. Here. So this is Vicky's favorite. Vicky, did I ever send you a print of this? All right, so here's my hippie sloth poster, and you can see it's big. It's like, let me measure it here. It is 12, 30, 40, 50, 16 or so by 12, about 16 by 20, about. And so he's all hand drawn. The hand is my hand. I just did the show. I held up my fingers and drew my own hand. And then it's just got different, it's got a piece of a watch here, and then I just drew a guitar around that. I drew all the claws and the flowers here and the jeans and the embroidery. This is a bit of a collage right here, and this flower here and that flower there is collage. Everything else is paint. So this is the kind of stories that I tell with the fantasy animals. Thanks. And all my animals are on Instagram, Twitter, Flickr. Not Flickr. Forget I said Flickr. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook is what I was thinking of. Facebook. You can see them all there, so they're all posted. So, but anyway, and I've shown a flip of my posters before. I probably got maybe somewhere maybe around 20 of them. Okay, so I'm going to throw that behind me here. And so anyway, these are not anywhere near a whole complete story, but I just want to kind of show you. Now this one is pretty much, I think I'm pretty much done with this one. I'm thinking about maybe blending a little bit of this out here, but I really like how she fit into that bit of stencil right there. It almost looks like a scarf. It looks kind of like a scarf, and she's coming out from the clouds. This right here, this is a collage element. She's a collage element. That's a stencil. This bit right here is a piece, this bit right here is a piece of a landscape from a calendar or something. And then I say we because if y'all are here while I'm working on it, talking to me, I feel like it's we. But anyway, all the rest of this is just paint. It's all just craft acrylic paint. All the rest of this, the clouds, the mountains, the foreground, all this. This is all just a craft paint. So don't think that if all you have is just some craft paint, that you can't do something, okay? But anyway, yeah, so this is a piece of something here, just some not texture, but some kind of design something, but that can ended up get blended in. But other than that, I really like the way the rest of this is. I just need to kind of figure out how I want to blend this into into the background. Okay, but all the rest of it, I really like the way it's good. Okay, and oh, missed a page here. So again, it's just all different bits of something like this. Okay, I think she could almost fit in here. If this bird was on this side, I'd put her on this side. I could almost put her there talking to that bird. But I really like that it needs something black on this side. If I did put her on this side, I'd still have to find something else for this side. But I could maybe put the flowers. Let's see. Now, I like to tear whenever possible, but because I want a fussy cut in between that, not really fussy cut, but just separate out her from this table. I could tear it, but it'd take me a while, and I don't want to take the time. So basically, what I want to do, just kind of pare her down a little to fit right here. So she could fit right there. And then I'd still have some of this black over here. Let's see, I think I'll separate that table just so I can have a little bit more, something like this. Okay, so basically what I'm wanting to do here, and I'm not liking that curtain. I'm going to tear that off there. I don't like that white right in the middle of the page. But we could put that up here. Okay. So never be afraid to not use the elements like you think they should go. All right, so there we go. So that's how I will glue this down. All right, so real quick, because I want to flip through the book before I start gluing, this is where I would just take my glue stick, and I mean, I'm just like putting just enough to hold it there. Just enough to just tack it there for a second, because we're going to come back and glue these down. Okay, but this is what I'll do if I find something and I don't feel like, you know, getting out the matte medium and all that right then. I'll just tack it down real quick, and it'll stay there enough until I get back to it. So if you have an ongoing journal like this, I need to prop this up a little. If you have an ongoing journal like this and you just, you know, find some little element, you go, oh, that look good there, but I don't really want to get out my matte medium and glue and make a mess and heat dryer and all that, then just take your glue stick and just tack it down for a minute, you know, until you, or for however long, till you get back to it. So that's what you're going to see as I'm flipping through. You're going to see, and I didn't put much on there, you're going to see where I've had a bunch of stuff just tacked down. Got to get you to tack it down a little better than that. Okay. Where I've just tacked things down and waiting to come back and glue things down. Okay, all these are glued down, but it's not done. See, this needs something else. It needs a little figure. It might need something else here. I don't know. It might even need this. I like that, because it brings some of the blue on both sides. All right, so where I just tore this little bit of watch out, I didn't really like the watch, but you know, look at all different ways. Don't just think that when you tear something out, it has to go exactly that way. And if it's something you end up not liking, you just paint over it. Okay, there. I really want that lined up more like this way though, like that. See, this will all get painted in. There could be a little water right in there. This could be a water wheel. Water could be splashing off of this. This could be this is a whole nother dimension right there. See? Okay, so we'll just go with that. I'm just showing you how I will do a little bit here or there. Okay, this I think is all glued down. Okay. Again, you need some more something here. Could use a big green leaf or something. But I just want to do a flip first because I'm stopping to work and I told myself I wouldn't do that. So you can just kind of see how I just add things as I find things or as it goes. Is that Jean? Let me see. No, it's not Jean. I'm blaming Jean for everything, aren't I? Okay, so she knows it's all in good fun. Okay, so yeah, so there's all kinds of layering going on. And if I see something, you know, that I want to, where's a pencil? Well, I don't have a pencil right here, but I do have here's a purple. See, I can see there's an arch there, you know. I might want to, you know, I'll just add as I go until something really grabs me, and then I might finish the page like I did, you know, these ones. All right. All right, again, here's some more. I'm just going to kind of flip until I come across, well, I want to do a full flip and then I'll go back and glue anything down. I just decided today was a good day to glue. But you can kind of see different, all right, here's a good example. See, this is just tacked down. These are just bits tacked down that I need to glue. Okay. That's just tacked down. So I don't want to take too long. This is just tacked down. This is just tacked. So these are things that I want to go back and glue. That. This. This is what we just did earlier. And like in this case, I had this red page and I could see just a tiny, tiny bit of blue in it. So I really like these elements of these designs that I just like. You know, they might end up just being one thing. They might end up being just a plain, you know, background. They won't just stay like this, is what I mean. They're not going to just be a chunk when I'm done. Okay, they'll all be different things will happen. Again, this needs glued down. These need glued down. I picked these just by the color. I like the design in them. And I needed some orange, yellow ochre, teal, and blue. And these little bits just happen to have all those colors in them. So they got glued down. So you can kind of see. You know, I might just choose a bit by color, by the texture. This right here, this texture just went well with the feathers of the bird. So look, see how he's got, look at his texture. And then see that little bit right there? It just went. I don't know what this will be yet. So you can see, let's see, is that glued down? See, that needs glued down. I covered up that frog. I didn't like the frog, so I'm covering it up. This will all get covered up. But there's those birds that I was looking for. This is just the leftover of the stencil or the negative space of when I cut the birds out on a big 12 by 12 sheet on the Cameo. And this is the stencil part of it, so I just used it to put a flock. So this is, every page has got something on it. This one is the one we did on, I think it was Sunday, and I call this done. This is the one we did on Sunday where I showed you how to use your color book images and cut them out, color them and cut them out, or make a copy, color them and cut them out, however you want to do. But I just cut them right, I colored and cut them directly right out of the book. Because the book was only one-sided, the color book was only one-sided, not double-sided, so I could just cut these out without ruining the back side of a color book page. So, and then we just looked like there was a, like a, not a sand castle, but you know those castles that are in the fish tanks? It just kind of looked like that, so we just kind of darkened up, where's my, I don't know, oh, there it is. Looking for my black. So we just kind of, it just kind of looked like there were the castle windows in there. So we just kind of played around with those and made it look like that was one of those castles in the water, underwater, you know? You know what I mean, Vern? Want you to draw a clown, right? Yeah, that's not going to happen, Lindsay. We will not be drawing a clown riding a flamingo. If you're watching this recording, we have some people that do not like clowns and they do not like flamingos. So Lindsay, to the corner with you, Missy. To the corner with you. So anyway, these were just little clownfish that were in, let me get the color book that I took this from. Where did I? Oh, let me see where I put it back on the shelf. No, it's got to be, here it is. So this is the color book that I took that out of. And again, this is one-sided. Say, so, uh-oh, there's a flamingo. Like these giraffes. Now, if you didn't want to color directly in the book and cut them out, make a copy and cut your giraffe out or whatever. Maybe we should, maybe do one of those today. We'll see. Color one of these. Let me just tear him out. There's flamingos on the other page. We don't want to look at that. Okay. So anyway, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll color this and cut one out and put it on a page. That's what we did. That's what we did here with these little fish. Yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy. Oh, that's right. Carrie and Eileen are not here, but they might watch the recording. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so we kind of made it an undersea, but it could be in the sky, in space kind of feel. Oh, okay, yes, yeah, you heard just in time to hear someone go to the corner. It's Lindsay, Jeannie. All right, so that what we did, and this is recorded. I think this is the last recording. This was from Sunday, I think. No, not Sunday. Saturday. Saturday. We did this Saturday, day before yesterday. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's true. We can't sit. Yeah. For those of y'all who don't know, today's Lindsay's birthday. So, happy birthday, Lindsay. She was not on my birthday list, so she will be getting a card, but she will be getting it late. I have some CB cards. You'll get a CB. Let's pick you out a birthday card. Rabbit Trail. Let's pick her out a birthday card. Let's see. Where's my CB cards? I have a couple Carla cards too. Maybe a Carla card. Let's see. Where's my CBs? All right, so let's see. Let's pick Lindsay out a troublemaker card. No, her cards are so pretty. They're just gorgeous. I have a few left, but these are the ones that is she here still? She was, yeah, CB's here. So these are some of the cards I have left from CB. Okay, let's see. All right, this one looks like a troublemaker one. I think we're going to send you this one. We're going to send you this one, Lindsay. Looks like two little girls getting in. They look like they're troublemakers, don't they? So yeah, we're going to send you this birthday card, Lindsay. Let me put a note on this one. So happy birthday, Lindsay, from CB and the gang. I'll set that over here. I'll get that in the mail. I'll get that in the mail after the show. All righty. You're okay. You're welcome. All right. So let me finish the flip here. Again, see, there's just some loose pieces here that I know I want on this page. But these are some stencils. This is, I don't know who did this doily stencil. This is the Crafters Workshop, one of the Cathedral, the 6x6 one. Paula's tempting me to go and get the 12x12. Cathedral window one. Okay, I got a couple of glasses on this one. Is that glued down? Nope, see, that needs to be glued down. And then, oh, this is the other one we did finish. We did draw something in this journal. The steampunk, and somebody named it. Now I can't remember what we named it. But I didn't like the eyes, so we did the Happy Dye glitter juice, i.e. Stickles. We stickled up his eyes, but anyway, he's okay. So this was our steampunk chick and steampunk frog. Okay, well, send them, AJ. We never can have too many birthday cards because there's always a birthday. But I did add Lindsay to the list. So, and for those of y'all that don't know, today is Bren Fluffy's birthday. I sent her a card about maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and Paula already got hers. Paula's tomorrow. Shh, don't tell anybody. Is Paula still here? Tomorrow's Paula's birthday. But today is Bren Elegant Tangle. I call her Fluffy. Today's Fluffy's birthday. So y'all tell her happy birthday. See, here we go. Look. See? This needs glued down. So these are the things that I wanted to do today, is glue all this down. So it's glue, heat gun, glue, heat gun. And then maybe after I do that, I can do a bit of more of a story on some of them. Okay, so every page has got something. See, I might start with just this little bit of landscape here. and then, you know, turn it into a whole world. This is like your little inspiration. Yeah. So Fluffy, if you're watching this recording, she's not here. I don't see her. Everyone's saying happy birthday. Dee Dee, try using packing tape transfer and paint. Yeah, I've done a couple packing tape transfers, but instead of doing that, I just glue the thing down. I don't really, it's kind of like, how's the saying go, too much sugar for a dime or something? I'll just instead of doing like a packing transfer tape of this, I'll just glue this down. That's just me. And I've got Claudine Helmuth's books. And by the way, if y'all want any kind of, let me show you her book. Her book, she's got one that has all kinds of transfer techniques that I would recommend. Let me find it. Hang on, I got to look for the book a minute. Since I reorganized my books, look away, Jeannie. Okay, here we go. So these are Claudine Helmuth's 2 books. This is the first one, Collage Discovery Workshop, and this is the one that's got all kinds of packing tape. This one came out in 2000 and, is it 3? Yeah, 2003. And she's got all kinds of, you know, creating backgrounds, making image transfers. She does heat transfers onto glass, heat transfers onto wood, caulking transfers, contact paper transfers. Then she has wax transfers. I know she has tape in here somewhere too. But anyway, this book has got all kinds of ways to do, you know, backgrounds and paints and heat transfers and wax stamping, antiquing. Like I said, this one came out in 2003. Architecture Freeze. This looks like she did some kind of a transfer of that. Yeah. Yes, Enabler Alert, Jeannie. I think, Jeannie, I've shown these books before. They're older. So you can kind of see all the different. So that's Collage Discovery Workshop 2003. Then this was Collage Discovery Workshop Beyond the Unexpected. And she did workshops around the country for a long time. I think until they had to move. Her husband got a different job. They moved up to Washington, D.C. area. And I haven't kept up with her, so I don't know. I don't know what she's doing like the last year or two. This one came up, this was 2005. So, and if y'all do decide to order these, Paula, what's your, I have it written down somewhere, but it's not right handy. If y'all order from Amazon, if you're watching this recording and you order from Amazon, Paula has one of those accounts. What's it called? Oh, Paula, help me out here. I know I have it down. I have it written down here somewhere. It's in one of my little journals right here that I keep by the desk. Paula has one of those what kind of account is it called at Amazon? Where she'll get a couple of cents off of any book you order through her account, through her store, A store. That's what I'm thinking of. Through Paula's A store. She can't see what you buy or who buys it or anything like that. But if you use her A store number, oh, she can't give me the link. Do you remember the number, Paula? She's on her tablet. She can't give me a direct link. I have it written down on one of these little pieces of paper, but now I can't find it. Oh, I can't find it, Paula. Let me look in this book. So anyway, if you use Paula's A store number, she'll get a couple of, I think it's in this book. She'll get a few cents off anything you order, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, not just books. Hey, Jean, not just books, but anything you buy from her A store. Amazon store, using her code. If I can only find the code. I have it right here in one of these little books. You can see I haven't ordered from Amazon for a while. because I would use it. Sorry, Paula. If somebody knows what her A-store number is, let me know, because I'll be digging here for a while otherwise. But yeah. I try, Paula, but I can't find the code. I can't find the number. It's something Journal Artista, but I can't. Or you can get it from her blog. Okay. So yeah, go to Journal Artista. Journal Artista is Paula. Go to her blog, and she'll have it on her blog. So if you order anything from Amazon, use her. It just helps out Paula, who's deservingly would, to support her in her art. JournalArtista.com, and you'll find the link to her A-store. Okay, so this is Collage Discovery Beyond the Unexpected, and like I said, 2005, and it just continues on with more techniques. This one talks about developing your personal style, tools and supplies, creating textured backgrounds okay, so she uses the Elmer's glue crackle, the plastic wrap crackle, layered masking tape, sketching into wet paint and tissue paper layering. And you can probably see all these on Amazon on the insides. It probably gives you previews. Using background textures, printmaking and collage, creatively combining paper and fabric, bringing personal imagery into your artwork, the power of color, collage challenges. And so let me just do a quick flip here of Claudine's style, and she does good step out. She's a teacher and does workshops around the country, so she's good at step outs, step by step. Okay, that's cute right there. And Claudine, you just recognize her style. She just has a very distinct, she'll use she'll use actual photographs of real people and do commission work of collages, and that from little bits of their heads, and then makes her own bodies for them in kind of whimsy, fun fashion, So yeah. But because somebody mentioned tape transfer, this has all kinds of transfers and in different techniques for that kind of thing in her 2 different books. So those are Claudine Helmuth's 2 books, and she also has a little scrapbook inspiration deck. I never really, by the time I bought that, I was kind of already knew exactly how I liked a scrapbook, but I still liked her, so I bought it because it was Claudine. Let me see if I can find that. That will be down here in the scrapbook section. Oh wait, no, I took all my scrapbook stuff downstairs, so it's not in here. I moved all my scrapbook technique books downstairs because I ran out of room in here for books. So I don't have her scrapbook. Now, if somebody really wants to see, I'll run downstairs and get it. If someone really wants to see her scrapbook inspiration deck, I will go down and get that if anybody really wants to see it. Okay. I should anyway, because I need some coffee. So let me go get some hot coffee. And thanks, Shabs. I'll run down and get that real quick, just because now I've mentioned it. Someone's going to say, well, I want to know what that is. So let me go run down and get it. It's downstairs. I moved all my scrapbook inspiration, my Allie Edwards and Elsie, and I moved all those books downstairs just to have more space, art space up here. So let me go run down and get that, and I'll see if I can find that little Claudine kit thing and get some hot coffee. So I will BRB. Think about Smack and Dragon, and I will be. Give me 1 minute. Okay. I always feel better when you get that hot coffee. So, you need more coffee anyway. Yes, I did, Jean. And good morning. I don't know if I said good morning to you, Jean. Before you get here, if I, hear my Twitter ring, I always blame you. You do know that, right? Even if it's not you, I blame you, Jean. Okay. Catch my breath. So this was the Scrapbooker's Creativity Kit. Prompts and ideas to jumpstart your layouts. Card deck and an 80-page booklet included. Now, like I said, by the time I bought this, I bought it because it's Claudine, basically. I bought it sight unseen. Back to, let's see, what year did it come out? Because it was her. It was like $20, even though I already knew my scrapbook style and all that. Let's see. But it was just so stinking cute. I had to have it. 2009. Okay, so this came out in 2009. And like I said, I'd already knew how I liked to scrapbook. But I just love Claudine, I know Jean knows I tease her. I call her sassy. Jean is sassy. Okay, so it comes in this little box. Just a little box, which is cute in and of itself. The little book is like 6x6, I think. Yeah, 6x6. And then she has these little inspiration decks. A color deck. A little color deck. Different colors on either side. I think. Yeah, different colors on the sides. So it's kind of like, if you just need a prompt for scrapbooking. So she had the little colors, and then different sides. There's 2 different words on each side, so depending on which side of the deck you pick up. Like this one is fragile and twist, and hero and home. So these are like word inspirations. Challenge and lessons, change and fear, hair and wing, sleep and cold. So they're random words for you to pick if you need a word inspiration. So this is your word inspiration deck and your color deck. Oh, yes, they're little inspiration decks, Dana. Okay. I know, it's really cute. It came out in 2009. I mean, I'm sure, it was out there. People knew about it. I just saw it, I think I saw it on Amazon and ordered it. Okay, so she has all kinds from the design team and gallery contributors. Some of the people that she had doing the layouts were Cal Barteschi, Ashley Calder, Donna Downey, Rona Farrar, Claudine, Christina Lazar, Scholar, and Genevieve Simmons. That was the people that helped contribute. And, well, she had other gallery contributors as well. But, so anyway, she has a little inspiration book and how they use the cards and, just all kinds of little hints, tips, and inspiration for scrapbooking. And here's the gallery. So, like, here is play, cyan, and purple for colors and a word. And how she did the step-by-step. How she did this layout based on those prompts. Now, this is the kind of thing that's fun. By this time, though, I wasn't really going to my archivers with my archiver angel girls. It was funny when Darcy, Claire, and y'all did the angels pose, how they all pose with their, guns, the Charlie's Angels pose. We used to do that at the scrapbook store. Anyway, this kind of thing is fun if you get together with somebody, and it doesn't even have to necessarily be scrapbooking. Maybe the next time Darcy Glam comes to Darcy. Did I say Darcy UK? She was there too. Darcy Glam and Darcy UK at the UK girls trip. You can even do this type of thing, prompt thing with not necessarily with scrapbooking, but just with like art journaling or an art journal page. Yeah, it is by Claudine Helmet, and you can get it on Amazon. The Scrapbooker's Creativity Kit. So what we would do at Archivers when we'd have 12-hour crops together is we would do all kinds of challenges. Like, for example, we might do a color challenge. We'd say, okay, we only can use all greens, different light green, dark green, greens in black and white. Or we would start a page. There's 3 of us, by the way. We would start a page, and in 30 minutes, we'd hand our page to the girl, to the one to the right. 30 minutes later, we'd hand it off to the one on the right. And 30 minutes later, we'd get it back to ourselves. Or 15 or 20 minutes. I forget how long we gave each other. And so we would work on each other's pages. Or we would take the person's pictures and we would scrapbook their pictures. Things like that. And so, it's fun to do stuff like that when you have a group, whether it's, scrapbooking or art journaling or whatever, just to, do challenges like that. So what I'm saying is this kind of a challenge thing will work for not just necessarily scrapbooking, but like if we get Darcy Glam down here, I'd love to get Sister Woman as well, Jonna here, or Denise. But when Denise is here, it's all about Denise. That's my daughter. My daughter Denise. Everybody loves Denise, and she steals my friends. I kid. I mean, everybody really does love Denise, but she's, anyway, I just tease my daughter that she steals all my fibs, all my friends in the box, which, by the way, was coined by AJ. Fibs. Anyway, so if I can get Denise or Darcy or Sister Woman or somebody here, I would love to be able to do some kind of an small art journal. Of course, we wouldn't do something as big as this, but and do some kind of a round robin thing where we would switch off our pages, work on each other's pages. But you got to be brave. You can't be afraid that you're going to mess up somebody's sign. You just got to go for it and have fun. So anyway, so that's the other book that I was talking about, Claudine. All right, so let me see where I put her books. Oh, I put them back on the shelf. Okay. And if y'all missed the beginning of today's show, I did talk a little bit about doing the file folder game book project again. So I won't get into it right now, but if you missed the beginning of today's show, go back and watch the first 10 or 15 minutes of today's show where I talked about doing that project again. All right? All right, so let's go ahead and start gluing some things down. Let me keep my little card here, helps focus the camera. And I call this Smack and Dragon because I smacked it in the ink and drug it, dragon, So I'm probably going to put a dragon on here. I'm going to put a big dragon on here. Maybe with a little girl going, smacking the dragon. Just for fun. Don't email me. I'm really not going to smack a real dragon, okay, people? All right. So, yeah, I'm not going to smack a real dragon. So what I want to do now is go through here. I'm going to pour out some of my golden matte medium on a little tray and get my glue brush out. And I just basically want to glue down all the loose, I'll start with that because I don't want it to dry out while I'm, how I'll stop and talk. I'm sure I'll need more than that though. All right, let me get a glue brush. And again, my glue brushes are the only brushes I keep in water. All other brushes get cleaned and put away, put in their little homes. Darcy Glam always kidded me about her brushes are all so clean. Well, Darcy, I clean them. What's in your cup? Yes. I'm just teasing, Jean. We have to have a little imagination around here to have some fun. You're a school teacher. You should know that, Miss Jean. Sassy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through, and when I come across a page that has, now these two are done. I already showed this. When I come across a page that has something loose, that's glued, All that's glued. Then I'm going to just stop and glue it down. Okay, here we go. This is the one we just started to go. So, you know, it's just barely tacked down. So I'm just going to glue all these elements down. And again, this is Dylusions ink. So if I really start messing with that ink, it's going to reactivate it, okay? And if it does, it does. It's just the way it is, you know, with Dylusions ink. But because I just barely tacked these down, I'm just going to go ahead. And when you use matte medium or any kind of medium, whether it's Mod Podge, where's Linda? Or anything else, you want to put your medium down on your substrate and on the back of your piece and then over the top. Because just trust me, it makes a difference in the wrinklage, okay? And then you kind of stop as you go. Where's my card? He pulled out a iTunes card here. Just whatever kind of, you know, old credit card or whatever kind of key card or whatever. And then just smash it down, okay? Same thing over here, just kind of tack that down with the glue stick earlier. And after I go through and glue everything, maybe we'll come back to this page and work it, okay? So I'm just putting down that. And some of it may not reactivate as much as like when I glued this bird down with the matte medium. I've already probably gone over some of this ink with the matte medium and it's already smeared and then glued down, so it's not activated as much as if it was a first pass with the matte medium, because I've glued other things down previously. Okay, so there we go. I know. Where's Linda? Okay. All right, so now I'm going to take the heat. So this is what I'm going to do with, I think I went through here and there's probably maybe 10, 15 pages, maybe, I don't know. I didn't really count them, that had something loose, maybe 1 or 2 items. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do what I just did here and then dry it real quick and move on to the next one. I keep a baby wipe handy, so if I get a blob of something, I can kind of, you know, dry off some of those blobs if I got a little heavy-handed with it. But I do put a good, generous coat. So if you all have any questions or anything, feel free to ask them. It's probably a good time. I mean, I try to explain this, you know, everything I do thoroughly every time I do a process, so you may not have any questions because I've probably answered them all. Yeah, Vicki likes her AARP cards. But I do want to make sure this is dry so I don't stick the pages together. Glue the pages together. Okay, so I do have a little bit of something. I need another baby wipe. There's a little bit of something extra sticky on that. Probably some of the glue stick. Get a fresh baby wipe here and kind of take that down. All right, so there we go. So I think, and I'm going to feel it to make sure nothing's sticky or wet before I go on to the next page. All right, so here, let's see, is that glued down? That's glued down, but this isn't. This isn't. Okay, so this is what we just tacked down a minute ago, this little bit of watch. So I'm going to just, see, now I've already glued this down and this down with matte medium. So you're probably not going to see much move where I've put a lot of matte medium already. But see where it's smeared? Some of that is smeared from my first glue trip. Okay, so put it on both sides. I'll lay it out right where I wanted it. Kind of like that. I'll kind of go around that. Sure sure we get it down well. Take my card and smooth out any wrinkles. And if I get excess on there, I'll just kind of scrape it off. All right, then dry. And I may have, I'll have more things to add. I just wanted to get, because I have a lot of things in here that I just tacked down that I wanted to go ahead and get this done. Maybe we'll color these giraffes. Like I could color these giraffes purple and blue for this page. They don't have to be colored giraffe colors, Okay, let's make sure that's all dry, because I don't want to glue the pages together. But we could color one of these giraffes purple and blue. Have it come, be on one of these pages. Like right there, look. Can you see where it could, look, right here. Imagine the giraffe right there. Or imagine him coming out from behind here and overlapping right there. See? Okay. All right, just making sure there's no glue wet anywhere. Okay. If I missed anything, yeah. So maybe we'll do a purple giraffe there. I don't know. All right, let's make sure everything's. I'm just kind of making sure. All right, this needs to be glued down. So it's just tacked down with a little bit of a, what do you call it? A glue stick. All right, so I want that little bit right there. Is she glued down? Yeah, I glued her down. For some reason, I like that little bit of color right here. Probably because it coordinated with this. Is that glued down? Yeah. All right. Oops. That coloring book I got at Hobby Lobby was only $5.99. And then I used a 40% off coupon, because at Hobby Lobby you can use 40%. You can use your coupons on books at Hobby Lobby. You can't at Michael's. But this is one of the this was at Hobby Lobby, just $5.99. Same place I got the steampunk one, and that's a lot cheaper than some of them that you get at the bookstores that are $10, $20. Even the Flow ones like 20 or 25. So, all right, so that's glued down. Let's go over here. I'm just going to kind of, I'm just make sure all the edges of everything is glued. It's all glued. So it looks like I'm petting my book, like Joycey. I'm petting my books. All right, that's all glued down. Just patting. Making sure everything's glued down. That's all glued. Okay, here's a couple things. These three pieces right here need glued down. But I might have, yeah, there we go. I was going to say I might have tacked that down too well, but there we go. I just like this color. And then this right here, I might just turn into a hill. This hill could come up over to this side. Flow right into these little gears. Oops, took a little bit of that off. So yeah, it's not moving, the ink's not moving too much, but that's because I previously used matte medium on it. So anything that moved is probably already, it's already done moved. All right, let's dry this, move on to the next one. So again, if you're just joining me, this is just like mid-process of some art journal pages. My other one, I did more, step by step, page by page, and finished it. This one, because I wanted to smack every page, every single page with ink before I did anything else. So it's kind of like I'm just doing skipping around in a little process here and there. Don't forget Ustream at 4 Eastern. And feel free to put links. Links are open if anybody wants to talk about, any classes are taken, projects, websites. You're free to do that here. Okay, it's if you're really if you got some big Etsy sale going on, everybody's pretty good about not spamming. But you're free to put your Etsy or whatever. All right, so there we go. Next, all right, this one needs to be glued down. Okay. Again, I kind of over glued it. I'm just going to lift this one up because I really glued that page down. So I'm just going to make sure I get it front and back all the way around. I put a little too much glue stick on that one. I could rip it up, but whatever. As long as I get it glued down. And then, it is important to kind of take your card and smooth it out. Let me clean off this. Got a little, get another baby wipe. Just to mash it down with the card, it really does help to keep wrinkles out and to also glue it down really well. And I do have a craft scrubby. I keep it in here, but it's one of these little, it's like a lightweight pumice stuff. I mean, it weighs nothing. It's like a feather. You can't even hardly feel it. It's no weight to it at all. But you run this underwater, and it'll take the matte medium off. So, but while I'm working, I'm trying to kind of keep the bulk of it off. And when I get down here, I will take my pumice to it, or the Ranger Craft. Wait, hang on, guys, I froze for a second. Okay, I froze for a second. Anyway, it will take off. It's the Ranger Craft Scrubby. Okay, so that one's dry. Oh. I had some little figure drawn there at some point, but I'm kind of not liking that, so I'm just going to go over it. Okay. I know, Vicki. Vicki says she's had one for me for 2 years. I just got tired of waiting on Vicki to send me one. So when it was in clearance for like $2, I'm just kidding you, Vicki. I didn't buy it because I was waiting on you. It was just in clearance. It was in the clearance aisle at Michael's. So I bought it. So you can keep it now, Vicki. Go ahead and break it out and use it. This is all glued down. All right, let's see. That's all glued down. Nothing yet on this page. This might be a good one for those, I don't know. Okay, I know this needs to be glued down. Again, let me just, because I've half glued it down, let me just go ahead and put it on here like this. Just want to get, she's glued down. I must have just tucked this up under her. Okay, I need another baby wipe. But I really get no wrinkles at all when I use this method with the matte medium and both sides of your piece, and then smack it down with the, or smash it down. Smack and smashing dragon now. Oops, sorry guys. Put the camera. Smack and smash a dragon. But I do think I'm going to put a dragon on the cover of this, whether I paint one myself or find one. All right, this one doesn't have anything. All right, this all needs to be glued down. Let's see if I can lift that whole thing up. There we go. See, now this is moving. I see the ink moving here because I've not put any matte medium on this page. So look, can you see that? I'm going to try to do it on purpose. Look. Can you see the blue ink moving? This has had no matte medium on this. So see how it's moving? Oh, sorry guys. The camera's really low, so I don't have to zoom. Because when I zoom, it kind of pixelates a little, gets a little fuzzy. So I try not to... I try to just to bring the camera lower rather than trying to zoom in with the, with the settings. All right, let me glue this one down, and then I'm going to have to get some more matte medium out. Down to the last little bit here. Come on the edge a little. Okay. Can see it now. Puff the Magic Dragon. And smacking old Puff the Magic Dragon. No, I wouldn't smack old Puff. Jeez. I'm not gonna smack Puff. You see how much ink is coming off when I'm doing this? Jeez. Oh my goodness. All right, so there we go. Let me dry this. Yeah, she's sassy today for sure. Bye, Kathy. Hi and bye, Kathy. I'm sorry I missed you. Anybody else? Phoebe, Wish, I see Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Angel Orla. Annalyn. Let's see, let me check my chat here. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Who else have I might have missed? I said hi to, oh, hey, Darcy UK. Of course, Darcy Clam's at work, but there's Darcy UK, Dana, KP, Carrie Ann. Who else missed? MG, Marion. I've said hi to, oh, hey, Moomy. And by the way, Mountain Dreamer is Teresa. She's new to live. She hasn't been able to be here live before till today. So Mountain Dreamer is Teresa. We're calling her Teresa Dreamer. So to separate that Teresa from the other Teresa. So Mountain Dreamer Teresa. And of course, Jean's here 5 times. Nomadic Rose. Sewell's Shabs. RV Sweet. Hey, Sandy with the P. Sunset Carol. Gina Sweet. Tam. Hey, Tam. Colleen. Tumor. Tumer. Tumer. I don't know. Anyway, all right, so thanks everybody for being here. I mean, we got over 60 people, which is good for a Monday morning. So thanks everybody. If you missed it, we're just working in the Smack and Dragon. And I am, after I finished gluing, I should have time. Well, I might have to stop. We'll see. I might have to stop gluing to go do, at least do one page. I wanted to do at least one art journal page today. Let me just get a little bit of glue at a time so we don't dry it out. So, yeah. I'm going to try to get crack-a-lack in here. Get out the whip app. If y'all don't know what it's an app that sounds like a whip. It does an Indiana Jones one and just a regular whip. It's just to get, crack-a-lackin' is what I use that whip app for. And it's fun to use it in the store too. Although lately I've been using that one from the sitcom app that Artistic Biker showed us, Blade. He showed us one that has sounds of like crickets and stuff. I love that. Let me show you that one. I love doing that one in the store. If you're just walking down an aisle, where is it? If you're just walking down an aisle of a store, and it's kind of like, I mean, people, unless they're really loud in a store, it's not, it's kind of quiet. So when you're walking down an aisle, just do this. And people are looking around like, what? But anyway, so yeah, there's all kinds of things. It's a sitcom. It's like, on sitcoms when you have canned laughter, canned clapping. Let's see. They have all kinds of music. That kind of thing. But the whip app, get people crack-a-lackin'. Anyway, it's just fun. Okay, stop it. All right, let's see. Did I dry this? No. I like to have fun, Lindsay. I mean, if you were sitting there, say, if you were at a doctor's office or something, and you're just sitting there waiting, and you played that cricket, people would laugh. Okay, anyway, all right, so let me just go ahead and glue one more down here, because I got enough glue for one more. Then we'll go back and do something on one of those previous pages, okay? Again, this is moving. All this is moving because this has not had any matte medium put on it previously. All right. Let's just use up that last little bit here. And smooth it out, dry it, and then we'll move on. But I did warn everybody at the beginning of today's show that this was going to be like a catch-up day of just random things like gluing. So, you were warned, Vern. What did Xander say? The old Western music should be Eileen's entrance music. No, she needs the music to like American Bandstand. Okay, let me put this brush in the water and dry this. Yeah. Brenda said we all grab our wallets and wait for Eileen to make the first move. For those of y'all watching the recording, Eileen is ETEE, Eileen the Enabler Elf. If there's any new product out or classes out, Eileen knows about it, and she enables us. Yes, Dana. She even has an elf. And by the way, has anybody seen Bridgeton lately? Just thinking of Eileen, my enabler elf. So this is Eileen, the enabler elf. She does fun things around here at Christmas. But Bridgeton, this is Bridgeton. I've not seen Bridgeton around lately. Has anybody seen the kitchen fairy? Where is she? Bridgeton? I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, Bridgeton. All right. Back to serious business. She's in Cape May on vacay? Oh, okay. Okay, thanks, Jean, because I didn't see, I missed that somewhere. She went on vacay. She went on vacay without us? She went on vacation without us, Jean? Okay. All right, so let me do a little, let's go, I think that's dry. All right, let me get the heat gun out of the way there. All right, so back to the beginning here. These, I only have a couple pages done in this book. This one, where's the one? Oh, this one's done. And then this is the one I was thinking about working on, but I can't put the giraffes on this one. Where's the other one I have done in here? I already did a full flip in here. Where's the fishy? Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Ah, here we go. This one's done. This one we did on Saturday. Bye, Z. Have a good day. All right. So anyway, let's go back. Let's see. I don't know if we'll have time to call. Let's see. I've got less than 45 minutes, guys. Less than 45 minutes before the my time runs out. I mean, when I say time runs out on Ustream, it doesn't really, you can just start another one. It's not like your time really runs out, but you get 3-hour increments. Then you have to start a new stream. So I've been here 2 hours and 20 minutes. And sometimes it stops a little before 3 hours. So, all right, so let's see here. Do I want to color? I guess let's go ahead and we'll color one. Let me move this out of the way. This is my focusing. Let me move the everything. I'm going to bump the camera. Uh-oh, I didn't hang up the, okay. So what I was thinking is coloring one of these giraffe heads and putting it in here somehow. I actually could do two, one coming from this angle and one from this side. I could put all three of them on there. But I don't know how much time I'm going to have to color three giraffes. But we'll see. All right, let me keep that there for focus. Move this out of the way. All right. So if y'all saw the Saturday show, I talked a little bit about the color books and using them to cut out and color and cut out, or copy, color, and cut out. I just took this right out of the book because it's only one-sided. You could, if you wanted to, copy it and then color it, or color it and then copy it, or whatever. You said start a new recording, Jean. Let's see how far I get. Let's see if I can crack a lack and get this done. So what I'm thinking, though, is if I want to put it on this page, I'm going to want it like blues and purples, maybe a little bit of green. I don't know. So what I think I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to color these giraffes blue and purple. All right, so I'm going to see which purple. I think this purple. And I'll put a little white and black out too. And what I'm going to do is basically base coat the giraffes. I'm going to base coat them, and then go shade them and highlight them with color pencil. All right, so let's do that purple, and maybe let's just do a flat couple of colors, and then we'll do everything else with color pencil. Bye, AJ. All right, so we got that this kind of purple color that's kind of in here. It's a little bit in here. It's a little bit in there. A little bit over here. And then I think I want just kind of like a true blue. It's a little bit different than true blue, but I think it's, maybe just add a little bit of a tealy color to it. Just a touch of a teal color. These two blues together. True blue and what color is this? Calypso blue. Those two blues together will kind of make this kind of blue. And I mean, you can blend it out. I can pick up both of those blues and just add more. So I can just add more of that those two colors. And then that'll make the giraffe, when I cut him out, to kind of fit in there. See? So just I'm just adding that with my finger. I'm using it all up. Now I'll probably have to get some more out. You see how that blended that bottom section in just that quick? And I could carry it right over here. There's some purple in there, so I'm going to pick up a little of that purple. Just blend the blue and the purple right together. I could even get out some lime green. Right in there. Let me get those colors out again. I'm going to need more now, I can see. Let's get a little bit more Calypso blue. A little more True blue. A little bit more purple. Where did I just set that here? Well, I haven't really used much purple yet. A little bit of lime green. Which is yellow green. There's yellow green and citron. They're pretty close. Okay, so if I wanted to add a little bit more contrast and color coming in here, so I can make this green from this little element here just kind of come right over. So that will tie those two pages together. See? Purple, and you do want to put something behind it. If you're going to go to the edge of these pages, you don't want to glue them together, which is very easy to do with paint, gluing them together. So I'm just putting some paint on here with my finger. There we go. So we have this plane, and I don't mean like a flying plane, I mean like a dimensional plane. Right there. Okay. All right, so let's come back over here. I might want to get rid of that much of the watch. Kind of bring that in. I don't want to really cover up those numbers there, but I'll just kind of put maybe a little purple up here. And I won't go too far up in here yet because I don't know where the giraffes are going to go. But you can kind of see how you can kind of start blending your things together here. And I might have some water, like I've talked about making this a water wheel. Turning this into a water wheel. Water coming around those elements there. All right, so maybe I want a little bit of, let's just kind of put a little purple in here. Maybe a little blue peeking through from behind. Okay, so I'm not going to, get into blending all this area yet until I find where I want the giraffes. But there's a start, okay? So now if I do some, purple, blue giraffes here, or maybe here, I don't know yet, I'll have something, a base. Okay, so I'm just going to let's just scoot that over here. Thanks, Dana. All right, let me get another baby wipe here and clean off my hands before I start working on the color book page. Baby wipes are your friend. Blending and cleaning. All right. Okay, so now I still have a little bit of all those three colors here to work on the draft. Now what I really want to do is just kind of base coat. And I don't want to add, this is thin, I don't want to add a lot of water to this. I might have to thin down my paint a little, but I don't really want a lot of water in this. I want it to be pretty dry. Because remember, this is just going to be the base coat, and then I'm going to color pencil shade and highlight on top. All right, let me just get a small brush. I need a nice little flat one here. These are pretty much all pointy. Let me get my other jar. I just want a small flat brush. This one's too big. There we go. I think that will work. No. I know I got a little flat one. I just used it. What did I do with it? It's sitting on my desk, I'm sure. I don't know what I did with that little flat. I know I have some flat and angle brushes around here somewhere. Ah, here we go. This one will work. I'm just looking for something small. I might have to get a pointy out to get in some of those areas, or I'll just use a color pencil. All right. So hopefully y'all can see enough. All the crusty bits, Paula. Oh, thanks, guys. Well, I hope you get some inspiration. Now I have to decide. I think I'll have the tops of their heads purple. This is probably going to be too big of a brush because there are some small areas in here. But I'm just going to use, and you don't even have to worry about getting out of lines if you're going to cut it out. All right, so I'm going to have the tops of their heads purple. Like this. And their little horns. Do I want their noses? Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and do most of the top of their faces purple too. Then we'll have some blue. We'll have some blue blue dots, and maybe, I don't know, maybe lime green behind it. I don't know. Again, I don't want to hurry. It seems like I'm always hurrying toward the end of my streams. I don't want to hurry, but I want, I want it to be decently colored. I think I'll do, let's do the inside of his ears purple. I'm just kind of deciding one of them here. And maybe their fur, not their fur, but the little rough hairs going down their back. Purple. So that'll be the purple part. And tinier areas I'll get with color pencil. All right, so let me go ahead and I can still see all the lines underneath. If I'm covering up any of those pre-shaded areas that are, done for you on color books, I can still see them because I'm really putting this on thin. I'm not watering it down, but I'm smearing it out. And I'm not being extra careful on the edges because, like I said, I'm going to cut them out. Here's this. Oh, no, I didn't want the outside. Did I want the outside ear? Well, I did want the inside of the ear. I think I'll do the outside blue. Something like that. His neck, his thing going down his spine. Green. Yes, I said green, Jean. The inside of his ear. I know there's a name for that hair that goes down the spine of a giraffe. Okay, let's see the horns. If I run out of time, I'll start a second part. I was trying to avoid that because it's not going to be that much left to do, I don't think. But if I run out of time, I'll start another one. But, you know, hopefully y'all get some inspiration, some ideas, some tips, you know. Because we all love these color book pages, but we're not using them if they just sit in the book. Although I am determined to finish that Paris one, just as a full colored book. All right, so there's the 3 giraffes, just kind of base coated with that. I'm going to use a smaller brush for the little spots. Again, I'm just going to base coat them in a couple of shades of blue. I think I'll just kind of mix those 2 blues together. And it'll keep it a little marbleized, but all right, so I just want to color in. My paint's already starting to get a little dry under these lights, but I just want to kind of paint in the spots. And I'm going way faster than you need to. I'm really hurrying just because I'm on stream, so don't try to color these in with your paintbrush like, you know, you don't have to. It's supposed to be a relaxing process. It's supposed, you know, just meditative and calm, you know, so don't be rushing through like I'm doing here. Just saying, Vern. I'm going to cover up that leaf right there because I don't want to cut around that. I don't even know how far down. I'm going to probably just, that's probably as far as I'll cut him out anyway. Let's go back up here. I think I'll just do 1. That's probably all I have time for if I want to shade. But you can see what I'm doing. It'll be, all 3 will be the same. Okay. I'm going to go around each one of these little bits with highlight and shadow. So again, as long as I get close to the edge of them, because I'm going to go tweak it all with color pencil. But make it fun. Take your time. Take your time coloring it all in. Don't rush it like I am here, because it won't be fun. You know? It won't be fun if you feel rushed. That defeats the purpose of these color book pages. I'm just trying to kind of show you another technique to use in them so that you can use some of them. All right. Okay. I think I got them all. All right, now let me dry this. Whoops, dang. Your lines aren't disappearing. What lines, Jeannie? Your lines are not disappearing with shading. So you're going to have to tell me what lines you mean. Marilyn. Well, you don't necessarily want your black lines to disappear. Yeah, you don't necessarily want them to disappear, Jeannie. All right, so see, it's not real neat. I just kind of, you know, I went out of lines over here, messed up that ear. They're just kind of blocked in real quick. But take your time, do it a little, you know, don't rush it. All right, so now what I want to do is, let me get over here to my color pencils. let's see, I want a dark purple, or I want a lighter purple. I'm just going to pick some just to see, because I'm not sure what colors I'm really wanting yet. A light blue and a black, or a dark blue. Where's my indigo? Black. Okay. All right, let me just, oh, and a lime green. Okay, sorry guys, I have to go under my tripod stick that's hanging over my table. So if I bump it, I go underneath and I bump it. Okay, I thought they were supposed to disappear. Well, let me show you the fish again. Here's the fishy page. Of course, the fish has purposeful black lines, so that may not be a good example. Because, you know, clownfish have black lines in them. Where'd he go? Let's see here. Here. I just shade them. Oops! I just shade them in. Let me go ahead, and I know it's probably going to get a little fuzzy if I zoom in, but I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so y'all can see a little bit better coloring. Let me re-autofocus. Where's my little thing here? Let's autofocus it again. See, it got fuzzy. Let's see if I can, that's when I zoom in it. With the settings on the camera, it's a little fuzzy. But maybe you can see it a little better, because I want you to be able to see some of the shading. Normally I like to just drop the camera. I turn the tripod leg and tilt, make the camera lower itself rather than click, click, click to zoom in. I just like to lower the camera as much as I can, then it stays clearer. Okay, so here we go. Can you... No, that's what I was showing Nomadic Rose on coloring them. Now, I did draw some. You weren't here. Where's my, here. Let me get my scroll. It's not on that scroll. It's on this big scroll. Here's some I actually drew. Oh, let me move the paint. Here's some I drew on the big scroll. So these I did draw. Now I'm zoomed all in. These I did draw and paint, Nomadic Rose. And there's a stream on these. I did record this whole show. But the little ones that I showed just a second ago are from the color book, this color book. And then colored and cut out. So basically what I'm trying to show today is how to use, your color book pages with some acrylic paint and some color pencils. Thanks, Vicki. You kicked yourself out of chat. Okay, so anyway, all right, let me get a sharpener. Got one right over here somewhere. Gotta have a sharpener. Now I gotta find one. Hang on, guys. Okay. Let's do the dark purple. We'll do dark purple, black, and white. Set the indigo. Yeah. To start with. Okay. So what I'm going to show you here, all right, is I'm going to highlight with a color pencil. And you can use some of the shading that's already there on the color pencil, on the color book image that, it's already got some little indicators of where you want to go. So I'm going to put the highlight and the shadow here with the darker purple, and then I've got the same color purple or close enough to kind of do some blending. All right. So now I'm going to go in here with the dark purple, and that would be like where they have the lines. I mean, I know y'all know how to color. This is just a good way to practice your shading for, you know, bigger projects. And plus, it's just relaxing. You don't have to think. You're not trying to work on some big project. You just want to have a little bit of fun with your color books, okay? So I'm just going to go in there with the shadow. Then I'm going to take the same color purple that I painted with, kind of do a little bit more blending of the shadows and the highlights, and just kind of blend it in. And I'll show you the two different versions here, one colored and one not, in just a minute. And I'm going way faster than you need to. Again, I'm going fast because I'm on Ustream. Don't rush. Just take your time and enjoy the process. Make it fun. Okay, I didn't get down here on this little area. And I don't care what anybody says. Coloring is fun. If they don't think so, they haven't tried it. All right. Now what I want to do for behind, I want his, like behind his spots to be lime green. I'm trying to tie in all the colors that I'm using over on this art journal page. In this case, okay. So I'm going to just go around all the spots. Maybe kind of blend that purple and that lime in together where they meet. Same thing for around his ears. And I'm going to cut them out here in just a minute. Put them on the page. Yeah, we're still recording. Don't forget, today is Bryn Elegant Tangle, i.e. Fluffy. That's what my nickname is for, because we both do fluffy composition books. But today's our birthday. Tomorrow's is Paula's. So, all right. So I just wanted to get that background, the lime green part. Now what I'm going to do is go in here with the indigo blue. So you can see so far. Now what I want to do is start shading each one of those little spots. Shading on one side, highlighting on the other. And then blending the two together with the blue. Or you don't, you know, if you're careful with your shading with this, you don't even have to do that. Just play. Just take your, as the UK girls call pencil crayons, and Canadian girls do too, call them pencil crayons. We just call them colored pencils. Crayons are the ones you sniff. You could even use your crayons for this. I think I'll put a blue. So I'm just going around each one of these little spots. Because this here is fun all day. Watching you incorporate the coloring pages into your collage. Yeah, I don't know if you were here, Colleen, when I did a flip and I showed a couple, you know, like the fish. When I did that one on Saturday. But I'm recording, so it's all there. And also talking about doing that file folder book project again. I talked about that at the beginning today as well. Okay. So we're going to see about doing that. But I have to think about it some more and plan it a little bit better. All right, so there's some of the dark blue.
All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the light blue and kind of highlight a little right along the edge where I didn't color real neat because I was doing it fast. But I'll go in here and highlight with this light blue now. Then if I want a extra bright highlight on anything, I can add a little bit of the white. Okay. I'll hold it up again. And you can see the two ones with color pencil and the one without color pencil here in a minute. Then I'm going to cut it out. I could go in there and shade a little bit of dark green in between what the lime is, but I think I'll just settle for this for now. Okay, let's see. There's a lot of spots on this little guy. But I hope everybody enjoyed just, getting some ideas today. Another thing, Jeannie, what I do with the animals is if they have a black eye, I'll go back in there with the dark black pencil and make it darker, because the ink from the color book page is not pure black, and I like that nice and black. You can also go in there with the, where the mouth is, under the nostril, A little bit more shading here and there with either a darker purple or black. Here's his little horns there. I want to kind of separate those out. Inside the ear, I want it a little darker. Maybe on some of those, that hair on his back there. Maybe want some of those to kind of stand out. And then add a little bit of white highlights on a little bit of white on those spots. And it makes it stand up a little. I don't want him to, he'll probably look more like a dinosaur now. But maybe a little bit more highlights here. Go back in here with some of the lime where I missed around a couple of okay, there we go. That was the quickest coloring thing I've ever done, I think. Okay, so there we go. So you can see it's just flat purple there. All right, let me cut them out because we're going to run out of time, and I don't want to start another stream for a 5-minute piece. I really don't. All right, so let's just go ahead and cut him out. And again, I'm going to do all 3 of them. I'll use at least 2 on the page. I don't know if I'll use all 3 of them on the page. But I'll use at least 2. And it's easier when you fussy cut to move your paper rather than the scissors. You'll get a cleaner cut if you do that. Okay, I'm just going to kind of trim off that round. And I'll show you, we'll put it on the page, and then thank you for being here, everybody. I'm going to just cut that edge off there, cut that off there too. All right. So Jeannie, see, you still see, no, I missed one there. I missed one of the spots, coloring it. You can still see black lines, Jeannie, although you can get in there if you really want to, and make some of them sharper, or fade into the back. It just depends on the color. You're not going to probably get rid of the black line with the white color pencil. But you don't have to get rid of the black lines. I personally like it to look like a color book page, or be able to tell that it is. That's just me. So I'm just going in here with a little indigo and sharpening up, some of the little spots because I hurried so fast. But yeah, okay, so there we go. Again, you could go in there and shadow where I put the lime green. You can go in there with, darker. Green or turquoise. Let's see, let's just grab a turquoise here. And go in there if you want. All right, any questions before we slap this in the dragon book? Could even add even a little bit more of a highlight in his eye. The book the book that I'm working out of is just this Naturescapes coloring book. And I got it at Hobby Lobby, $5.99, but I used a coupon. Okay, so I'm getting ready to, hang on a minute. Okay, so the show's getting ready to start. Let me just put this right here because I'm running out of time. I just want y'all to see where he's going to go. He's going to go right there. And so the recording's going to stop, but I'll still stay here and chat with you. But if you're watching the recording, just so you can see where the dragon, where the giraffe will go on there. I'll try to finish the page and maybe post a picture on my Instagram or Facebook. So if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, I'm Inkiwell, INKIWELL. So thanks everybody for being here, but the recording is going to stop. So thanks guys. Areas that still need to be glued down. So what I want to do today is I want to fold my 12 folders just so that you can see how they're done, and if you want to do it, and you don't have to, you can start making any of these books anytime. And again, I do not know, and I haven't planned out the topics and all that for a new book, but I just want to show y'all how I put one together. So feel free to start making your own. Okay, then Annabelle, if you have different size folders in Australia, it doesn't matter on the size. I can't stress that enough. As long as you can fit some postcards or any kind of cards. It doesn't even have to be 4x6. It can be whatever size you want. Just, 4 pockets. You can make it any size you want. Does not have to be. I know people say, well, exactly what size. It doesn't matter. I'm going to show you how I do mine, but does not have to be exactly like mine. You just want to make them all the same. Okay? Okay, you just have to make them all the same. Okay, so how I do mine is, first off, I open up the folder, and it is going to flash out a little because my camera just I don't know, it doesn't like white or light color. All right. So I'm just going to, these ones that I've done, I've gone to 4 inches, and basically I'm not much on ticking things off if I don't have to. If you start right in the middle with the score right at 4 inches, it'll make enough of a dent so that you can just fold it right up and just line up your lines of the folder that are already there. Okay? Yeah. All right, so the reason I'm doing them 4 inches,
this way, then I bring it down about an inch. And I'm not even measuring on this. Okay? I'm just folding it down about an inch. From the middle, if you start in the middle with your bone folder and go out, you can usually get a pretty straight line. You know, you can be much more careful than I am when I'm doing this. But basically, that's your first fold. Okay, question. Excited for a new project. Jean is jumping in the shower. Okay. She's not tweeting me. Oh my goodness, Jean. You're so funny. Oh my goodness. Okay. I didn't even, you know what? I didn't even tweet. Let me go ahead and tweet real quick. I forgot to tweet that I'm streaming. So one moment, please. Let me spell morning correctly. Okay. That's funny. Okay, so yeah. So basically what we're going to do is make 12 of these when we're done. All right, you want 12, 1 for 12 every. We did it 12 because it was 12 months. We could do 8. You could do 8. We could do 8 weeks. Maybe that would be better. You know, do 8 weeks, because the reason we did it, well, they fit right in there. So let's see, did I fold it a little bit more? Yeah, 4 1/4, 4 1/4, so that the your postcard size cards, information cards, would fit in each pocket. Okay, so this one was decorated with that graphic 45 paper. I don't remember what it's the one that had the little pigs, the little when pigs fly. See the little pigs there? And it was this graphic 45 paper. I don't even remember the name of that paper right now. But this month it was all about knowledge. So we had observe, learn, share, and action. And those were the little information cards that we did for that month. But I'm thinking about, if y'all have any questions, put them in caps, okay? Hey, Terry. So I know you're asking me a question, because the chat scrolls by pretty fast. And if you don't put it in caps, I won't know you're talking to me. So thanks, guys. So anyway, I think I'm going to do one a week instead of one a month, so that the project won't take a year. It'll take 12 weeks. So I haven't decided on when to start it. I'd want to, of course, start it probably at the top of a month. Well, I guess you could start in the middle of the month and carry it. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so we'll see. But this is the project people have been asking me to redo. So I think we might do that. All right, so again, I'm having to remeasure because I don't remember the exact size. Not that it has to be the exact size. I think I flipped this up 4 and down 1. Yeah, okay. Not that it has to be the exact size. The only thing that when you do a book like this, where it's just bound in, you know, some chipboard or a game board or whatever, is just you have to make them all the same. So it doesn't even have to be the exact same size as mine, although you would want it to be at least 4 inches wide if you want to fit postcards size in there. But if you don't care what size, you can make this any size you want, just realizing that, you know, a standard 4x6 postcard's not going to fit in there unless you make it, you know, 4 1/4 or whatever. So anyway, so the size, I'm gonna go ahead and make it the same size, I think, here, just for ease sake. And the other thing I want to do is I want to finish gluing down. I have some things just tacked in my Smackin' Dragon. I just wrote that on there so y'all would know what I'm talking about. It's really smacking and dragging through the ink, but I just call it Smackin' Dragon. But anyway, all these pages have
Dilutions ink on them from smacking and dragging the pages through the ink. And then I've started, some of them, I've got a couple pages done. I have a couple pages, all the pages have something on them, and all the pages have something glued on them. But some of them are just like this. I know I want this piece here, but I've just like with the glue stick just tacked it down, just tacking it down until I get out the matte medium and my golden matte medium to glue everything down. So, I have, there we go. Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dee Dee, and it's Monday morning. It's Ustream, live people in a live chat. So I am not talking to myself, although sometimes, if I record something, sometimes I am talking to myself. But most times on these long shows, I'm talking to a room full of people. So thanks everybody for being here. I think I said good morning to everybody before I hit record. And our little mod, Pixie Carrie, is not here this morning, so hope she's doing okay. And thanks everybody for being here. Yeah, I can't make those. I have to watch those late night recordings. I have to watch the recordings, Jeannie. So anyway, today I need to do a couple things to catch up for streams. I've had some more requests to do. Let me get the book back down here. To do another version of this project that we did a couple years ago. Well, 2012. We did this project in 2012, where we had a what do you call it? A folder. It's a folder book, and we did a folder a month with different topics every month. Well, I think what we'll do this time, instead of, and I haven't planned it out yet. I haven't planned out the topics or anything yet. Some I might readdress or redo. Some might do some new ones. But I thought it would be better to do 12 weeks instead of one a month. We do one a week. So I'm thinking about, redoing this. So this one's just made with a Scrabble what do you call it? Board, Scrabble board. And it's all it is just a Scrabble board cut up with an X-Acto knife and a metal edge ruler. And I didn't even edge anything. This is just, I kept it very plain so that everybody could see exactly, it's kind of like the prototype type thing for everybody to follow along. So I didn't decorate it or anything on the outside. I just wanted everybody to be able to see what was going on. So basically it's just a game board, and you don't have to use a game board. You can just use chipboard covered with scrapbook paper, anything. And then duct tape, or shipping tape, or whatever kind of heavy-duty tape to hold it together. And then the folders are just in there with rubber bands. Let me just pull one out here. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to just pull one out. This one was from, when was this one from? I don't even know what one it's from. I didn't put the month on the outside of this one. I tried to put the month on the outside of every one, but I just kept them all in order. So what we basically did was we took a file folder, we folded it up, we decorated it, and it has 4 pockets, and then we would, mine are not in, they're just all stuck right here, but then we would have postcards, so the actual inside flaps, I think is, 4. So they're 4 inches here, so that it would fit. Maybe it was a little 4 1/4 because we wanted them to fit. I think the back one. Let's see. Yeah, they're both on the inside. All right. I'm trying to kind of make it the same as the last one. All right. Now this right here will get in your way. Okay, but you can do a couple things with that. You can either cut it off or just fold it over. In my case on this one, I just cut it off. Okay, so you can just cut that edge off because it won't, so you can't close it with the flap, obviously. So I'm just going to cut that off. All right, on this side, did I cut that side off too? I think I cut both sides off. Yeah. You can also fold this
to the outside if you want. You can just make a little fold, and that'll protect the pocket. But I just cut them off. It's just easier after you do that. All right. So you got 2 flaps that fold in and out. Okay, I think I did. Did I measure that wrong? As long as they're all the same. I think I just didn't bone fold it well enough here. But basically what you're trying to do is just have enough room for a, what do you call it? Index card. I mean, not an index card. Well, you could do an index card. A postcard. Okay? So there we go. So as long as it fits a postcard. Okay, so you can kind of see here. Like that. See? All right. Well, I'm still have to. I don't know when it's going to be because I haven't planned it all out yet, AJ. So just we'll see when I have to. And I don't want to duplicate every single topic that we did for that year. I'd rather do maybe a couple of the same ones, but I'd rather do new topics. So I've got to have time to do that. This was just kind of like everybody wanted me to do it, and I hadn't even really thought about doing it, so I don't have any plans made up for this yet. But I wanted to show y'all how to make it. If you do want to be a part of it, this is how you make the folders. That's all there is to it. Okay, you just bone folder it, right real tight so that it'll close up like that. Okay, so that's it. That's all there is to it. And the idea is, now let me find a rubber band since I took that one off. Let me get another rubber band. So the idea of it is after you make a board book, whether it's with a game board or just chipboard, either way, this is just 3 pieces of a Scrabble board, duct taped together, and all the folders are held in here with rubber bands. Okay? Yeah, it's just easier with a bone folder, Brenda. No, I wouldn't do it. 12 was because it was a year-long project and we did one a month. But if we're going to break it down into just some weeks, maybe, maybe 8 might be better. All right, so the reason that I just put that little flap on there is because it looks pretty. It's just pretty, a little decorative flap. It just looks pretty. It makes the pockets a little more stable, and it just looks pretty to have a little strip with some decorative whatever on that. So, yeah, that's the only reason for this, just to make it look pretty. So again, you want to keep your, folding with your bone folder. All right, so now the next thing you want to do is you have it like this, okay? Now, another thing about this is it can fold either way. You can have it going out like this. It doesn't matter which way you want your folders to go. The reason I had it go this way is because that way nothing fell out. Okay, so that's what we'll do it that way. But you can fold the folders out or in. It doesn't matter so much as long as however you want to do it to keep your little cards in. And again, these actually needs some tape here or something to hold that in. Just to be on the safe side. Like 12 weeks. Okay, we'll see. Hey, Linda. You don't have to shower before you come here, Linda. And thanks everybody for popping in. If I miss saying hi to you, Sharipa, who else has come in? Meringue, and I said hi to Mary. Who else is? Carol. Anybody else I might have missed that's come in? Okay. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to measure, because like I said, we want 4 1/4 just for the sake of having postcards fit in the pockets. But it doesn't have to be that exact size. Okay, don't stress out. Don't stress out over measuring. All right, so I'm just going to, from the here's the folder. Just close it up. From the outside, I'm just going to measure 4 1/4. Okay, that's just where I want to bone folder, score it. Okay, so now I'm just going to score. The reason I'm doing that is just so that a postcard size will fit in there. All right. So once you make one, then you can start doing the flaps and smashing it out with the bone folder. You will have to have a bone folder to do this. I'm telling you, if you want these things to lie flat, you're going to have to smash them down good. Now I don't have to measure this side because here's my flap. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and just bone folder right along that edge, or score it, I should say. And then I can fold that side over using the other flap as my measurement. All right, and again, all right, now I want to go ahead and flap these just right on the line. I'm just going to fold them to the inside, and that even gives it more of a score. Okay, all right, so I'm just going to fold these to the inside.